Lads. Lads, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sheffield United way, last watch-along of the season. It's Sheffield United against Burnley at 4 p.m. We are 29 minutes away from kickoff. I will bring in Mr. Hal Stewart. How are you doing today, sir?
Good. Hello, internet, my old friends. Actually, I'm in a bit of darkness as well, so that was rather appropriate. I can't do anything about it. We've got no blinds here.
There's nothing worse than no blinds, is it, mate?
It's something we need to invest in the off-season, and maybe your super chats can assist with that. And also today, Nick, hopefully it won't be our lowest ever home league crowd, but it will definitely be our lowest post-war crowd. So I looked this up. It'll actually beat the 6,647 who attended a game at Bramall Lane in March 1987. That was against Crystal Palace. So we could break a record today in that regard. There's a few other records we could break as well, but I'll go through those a bit later.
Oh, do we have to go through those?
Sorry.
Yeah, you went through them on a watch-along a couple of games ago, didn't you? And it looked like we were going to smash them all. But obviously we got that win against Everton, another goal to add to the tally. Do you want to do it now?
All right, if you really want me to, yeah. So least points, we know Derby 11. We've avoided that because we have
20.
Least home points, Sunderland 7. We've avoided that. We have 13. Least away points, Derby got 3. We've avoided that as well, thankfully. Least
3?
Yeah, Derby got 3. Yeah, they either got 3 draws or won one game away. Least home wins, Sunderland only got 1. We've obviously massively avoided that because we could even get 5 in total. We've got 4 at the moment. Least away wins, several clubs, 0. So we know we've avoided that because we've got a couple of really good away wins. Most defeats in a season, 3 clubs with 29. Now, Nick, do you know how many defeats we have this season to our name?
29, isn't it?
Yeah. Which means with 1 to play, that is one very much that we could break. And that would be something I think, unfortunately, will be a long time broken. So if we break that today, I think that's a record that will stand for over 10 years. Most home defeats in a season, Sunderland 14. Do you know how many home defeats we've had?
Have we had 14 as well?
13 with 1 to play. So we could
I'll tell you what. It feels like a lot more than 13.
Of course, when we're doing the watch-alongs and the previews, it really feels like that. Most away defeats in a season, Burnley, our opponent, 17. Well, 15 for us. Fewest goals scored, Derby, 20. So how many goals we've scored?
Is it 19?
19 with 1 to play.
By the way, I don't know these already. It's not like Hal's throwing
no, he
me
doesn't. He doesn't. Most goals conceded. This is nothing that we need to worry about because Derby conceded 89. We've conceded 63. I mean, I don't think we're going to concede. Well, that's no one can do that maths, but we need an abacus. But
maths.
Exactly. Fewest goals scored at home. Manchester City got 10. We've already avoided that because we've scored 11. Fewest goals scored away. Norwich 7. Well, we actually equaled that. And that's okay. Equaling's okay because we can't do any more. We've done our final away game. Most goals conceded at home should be fine here. Derby at Wolves 43. We've conceded 27. Most goals conceded away. Again, nothing we need to worry about here. Wigan 55. We conceded 36. And those, Nick, are all your stats.
Yeah, it's not really about the defensive side, is it? Even though we've been quite poor. It's more about the attacking side. We've not scored enough goals. That's where we've let ourselves down. But yeah, hopefully today we'll avoid that defeat. Hecky did say in his pre-match that they're not thinking about things like that, and they're just going to go out there and hopefully get the win. Which that's what we want to see, really. We don't want to see us just trying to avoid a loss, because at the end of the day, there's going to be fans there. We want to see us. We also want to see Hal's arm. We want to see loads of that arm.
I'm trying to get a bit of light going on here. I got a little light set up here, and it's not actually on my face.
It's just that bicep.
It's just annoying me. Do you want a bit of a... No, that's not going to happen. Let's instead look at team news, because we now know the two sides that are going to face each other today. Nick, do you want to start us with home team news? We've got it on screen now.
Yeah, I'm devastated because I didn't get one right in my preview, did I? I got 0 right. No Chris Wilder and Brewster up top. Gutted about that. Aaron Ramsdale in the goal. Obviously, our new player of the season and young player of the season. The double scoop. You'll love to see it. Chris Basham, centre-back, along with Egan and Jackie Longthrow. Baldock back in at right back, Stevens left back, or left wing back and right wing back, should I say. Ollie Norwood defensive midfield, Osborne and Fleck also in the midfield. Little bit gutted that Sanderberger only came back for what seemed to be a couple of games and then got injured again. It did feel like Hecky back in the day, probably two games ago, I think it was, said that, it's only a little niggly injury. And it felt like we were going to see him again, but obviously we're not going to see Berger again for the rest of the season, which is a bit gutting. And then Jebbo and McGoldrick up top. That is what you love to see, Hal Stewart.
Yeah. Jebbo's become a bit of a friend of the channel, hasn't he, Nick?
Yeah, definitely. He follows me, he follows you. It follows the Sheffield United Way Twitter account.
He's been interacting with both of us. He's really, really supportive. I've got a lot of time for him.
Yeah, definitely. There's not many that do they? So it's nice to see one of the players in the starting lineup follows us.
Yeah, and great to see Osula. He is so cooler on the bench.
I knew that was coming.
You know it's happening. That's going to be his thing going forward.
No.
Yeah, everyone's got a thing, Nick. You know how I roll.
We all have things we do, pal.
Jags as well. Could be the last time we see Jags. If he's already said to Hecky, listen, I'm going to retire at the end of this game, bring him on for the final few. I think that would be a great thing to do.
Yeah, let's see him in the goal. Give Ramsdale a clap off. Give Ramsdale a clap off.
Imagine, Nick, if your League One wears and that happens.
Yeah.
The insult.
That's worse than what
Paolo.
What Paolo Di Canio did to him when he brought him off.
The insult to your professional, absolutely. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe. Really important that we get the likes. If you want to affect the YouTube algorithms, beat the robot. Don't let the robot win. If we can get to 1,000 likes, it means more people will find this visible on their timelines and actually be able to join us for the final watch along of the season. If you haven't yet, please hit like. When we actually get to the stream, pause us if we're behind or ahead, or pause your telly and get level. I don't usually watch alongs, but I did yesterday. I watched 3, and it is so easy to get level. I did it once for all the games, and I just cannot understand when people say, I'm out of sync. It's really easy. And the guy I was watching only gave time syncs 3 times. So no excuses, get level. The game is on BT Sport 3, a 4 o'clock kickoff. Let me give you the Burnley team. Nick, I was way off in our match preview. Luckily, no one saw it.
It's almost like you're not a Burnley fan, isn't it?
So much like that. It smells of poo in Burnley. Norris is in goal. Matt Lowton at right back. You've got Charlie Taylor, number 3, at left back. Tarkovsky. And Nick, you'll be disappointed. No me today.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they've done us good and proper, and they've played done good and proper. Then you've got Goodmanson at right midfield, McNeil at left midfield. In the middle, Westwood, Alan Cork's lad, Jack Cork. Then an attacking midfielder of Brownhill, and up front, it is Chris Wood, who you called purposefully an Australian. You knew what you were doing on our bit of a joke match preview.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I didn't realise. Obviously, I went for, I called Austrian, even though Ashley Barnes isn't Austrian, plays for Austria. I called him Australian. And then I didn't realise I'd said Australian and Aussie, which is obviously the same thing. But it was all a bit of a joke. I don't think there was anything in that predicted team that was correct.
No, you're right.
Especially about Lise Mousset being an ever-present this season and last season, never getting injured.
It's odd that, you picked an entire team that was a joke, and yet of all the comments we got, people would just pick on one thing. and be like, "Oh, Chris Wilder was actually a right back, and you've put him on the left side." I think you'll find that is incorrect.
Yeah, wasn't Alan Miller centre back?
And you've
That's
put him in.
another one that we
You
got.
put him in central midfield, Nicholas. You'll find that's actually incorrect on every conceivable level. Those people, the same people, ignoring the fact you put Max Lowe twice.
I know. I liked what Panchero said. He was happy with everything except for Brewster.
Yeah, the only sensible one in the entire pick.
I think someone said the same about Lundstrom as well, which was quite good.
Absolutely. Now we're just going to change tack slightly because I think it's only right that we pay tribute now to a few memorable names. The past year and more, it's about 14 months really, has been so tough for so many. We have, until today, been robbed of the simple joy of being able to watch our football team in the stadium. Welcome back, Blades fans, young and old, if you are going today. It feels only right that we dedicate some time now on our channel to those in our Sheffield United football family who we lost in the past year. Alex Sabella sadly passed away, the Argentine midfielder who joined the club in 1978 from River Plate. He also led his country in the World Cup as a manager and played for his national side in the early 80s. Luton Shelton, the Jamaican international who passed far too young. At the time of his death, he was the top scorer for the Jamaican national football team with 35 goals. He is also the only men's football player to score 4 goals in his international debut. Steve Conroy, the former goalkeeper and part of the Blades coaching staff, who fought his illness as bravely as he represented the club between the goalposts. He played for Sheffield United between 1974 and 1983 with distinction. Steve sadly died at the age of 64. And most recently, one of the Lane's favourite sons, the right back, an all-round wonderful man. Just ask anyone who knew him. Leonard, better known as Len Badger. A true Blades legend. 458 league appearances for Sheffield United between 1962 and 1976. From the Blades family, all of us at the Sheffield United way, we remember them, one and all. It was a little tough doing that, Nick.
Yeah, I'm not sure where we go from here.
I mean, some incredible names, some people that quite rightly deserve to be in our memories, and fitting we felt to do it here on the final watch-along of the season. If you are going today, if you know people that are going today, I hope each and every one of them enjoys that. We're not going to get involved, are we, Nick, in any of this should you go, shouldn't you go malarkey. We are going to park that and instead focus on the match today.
Yeah, we can have our own opinions, but we're not going to force them on anybody else, are we?
Quite right.
A few people, like other people might be doing on social media. It's not what we're going to do.
Shall we talk about Aaron Ramsdale, Player of the Year, Nick, and the double whoop because he's Young Player of the Year as well. Whoop whoop.
The double whoop. Whoop whoop. The sound of the police.
That's the sound of Player of the Year.
It is.
Well done, Rammers, and I called it on this very channel.
Yeah. Do you know what? The only thing that I will say about it is that he shouldn't have been Player of the Year because of the start that he had. But the fact that everybody else has been worse than him means that this back end of the season where he's been just incredible, that is enough to win him Player of the Year, which normally in any other season wouldn't have. But because everybody else has been so poor, he has really stepped up so much. And do you know what? From all the hate that he was getting right at the start of the season, it wasn't just criticism, it was abuse as well. And I'm absolutely fine with people criticizing players, but the abuse is just not on. And he got so much abuse right at the start of the season. He did a video on the Sheffield United channel recently where he talks about online abuse and mental health, depression, all that lot. And it's just not on. And the fact that he's come back from that and been the best player all season. It has been. It's just incredible, and from a guy such a young age, it's just brilliant to see. We love it, and the fact that we've gone from everybody loving Dean Henderson to him having a pretty poor start and then just absolutely turning his fortunes around. It's brilliant to see. So
well said, mate.
Yeah,
because you're right.
Robert.
Big shoes to fill. Anyone was going to struggle to come in after Dean Henderson. And actually, while we mentioned interviews about mental health, Martin Wolford interview that we did on our channel was released on Friday. And I think that could go in that same bracket because he went through some really tough and you could say dark times and actually gave us an exclusive, Nick.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I won't let everyone know what that exclusive was because you need to go and watch the video, don't you?
Yeah, don't be put off, by the way, just because a player wasn't good. Now, in many respects, Nick, getting a player on who was very successful in their career to talk about how great they were, well, that's easy. It's actually far more interesting, I think, to get a player on where it didn't work out and find out why.
I prefer those. And I remember the time when you said, do you want me, I can get Dean Hammond on possibly. Yeah. And I was like, yes, absolutely. Let's do that. We were both completely on the same page with that one, weren't we? We wanted to find out what happened because there's people behind these players and there's families and it's just, we don't realize we've done the same thing, haven't we, Hal? I won't say abused, but we've had a go at players for not playing too well.
For a first-hand, Nick, some of the things I've said to players.
Yeah, I won't bring that up. But we've all done it. Every single person has done it. Have stood there and shouted at someone.
Well, you get emotional, don't you? We all care so much about football. You do sometimes say silly things at games that you regret almost instantly. But the Wolford interview, if you think, this isn't in very safe hands, it was. Nick and I gave him a lot of room to breathe. We don't do a lot of talking in that. Wooly, we let him tell his story and he revealed things he'd not revealed before, a bit like Dean Hammond did as well. Those interviews, in my opinion, are the two I'm most proud of from our channel. Save it to your watch later. Yeah,
me too. We've got another one coming out as well that we both really, really enjoyed. So we had a bit of technical issues at the start. So I think both of us went into it kind of like, let's just get this out of the way. And it was absolutely brilliant.
It's probably the best one. Now,
it probably is.
It's perfect timing as well to just say, if you'd like to sponsor us for money, which we can keep, and that would be helpful as money can be exchanged for goods and services, please do drop us a DM and get involved. But yes, Martin Wolford, released on Friday. Do check it out. Also, help spread the word about the watch-along today because it is our last one. Quotes about the Sheffield United way watch-alongs we've had so far. Heard it was not terrible, and that was right. Thank you very much, Dan. Also, this one from Pete. It is under 3 hours. Thank you. One of the people on it is okay. I really appreciate that one, Stu. This one as well. My mate said it was a bit funny, so I watched 3 full minutes. Appreciate all of those comments and quotes for the Sheffield United Way watch-along. If you wouldn't mind sharing and letting other people know about the watch-alongs, we would be most grateful. It's time for the quiz.
Let's go for it.
It's going to be Sheffield United and Burnley related, as they always are. The way it works.
Wait, because
you got excited there.
I normally do it, don't I? I write my things down. So
I told you, get a pen.
I'm ready for it. I'm not that old. Be
old school with quizzes because this is an old school quiz. It's Sheffield United Burnley related. We will very soon be joined by Quizmaster himself, Adam Blade 83. But first, before we get there, do write your answers in the comments, and Bobby in the background will bring them up on screen, whether they're right or wrong. And the first person to get it correct will win Nick's grudging respects. Okay, question 1. Name the only manager who has been in charge of both Burnley and Sheffield United. If you were one of the 6 people that watched the match preview, you'll already know the answer to that. Nick, I've got to say, while people are thinking about this, my opinion. The best video we ever did was our season review 1920. One of our lowest viewed videos. I then think the match preview we did yesterday was our best match preview, the lowest viewed match preview we've ever done. What is going on?
Well, people don't know, do they? People don't know. It's
not
us.
They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
It's not us, though, is it? It's not us. It's the fact they've not watched it and then gone, "Oh, that's rubbish." They've physically they have to physically click on it to watch it. So I think it's just whatever's happening with the club and with the team and stuff like that at the time. It's just timing. It's all about timing, isn't it?
Yeah, we did well to release the preview as soon as the Eurovision Song Contest started. Mr. LJ, you are correct. Adrian Heath managed Burnley in 1996 and 1997, and of course was at the helm at Bramall Lane in 1999. Well done if you knew Inchy was the answer we were looking for there. Okay, question 2. Who did Adi Akinbaye score more league goals for, Stoke or Burnley? And eagle-eyed will know amongst you that I've actually asked this question before, so how embarrassing if you get this one wrong, Nick.
Oh dear.
Yep.
Well, I've got to say it's a guess first and foremost, so yeah, it's going to be embarrassing.
Well, you can guess because it's 50-50, so go on, give me a guess. Stoke or Burnley?
I've already written Burnley down, so
brilliant. It's lovely to know that people listen to me. If you said Stoke, you are correct. He got 17 goals for Stoke, 16 goals for Burnley, so it was mighty close. Mighty close, absolutely. Okay, now the next one is my personal favourite. It's the section we do where you guess the player from his career stats. So Bobby in the background is going to ask us to move out of the way. Nick's going to go the wrong way, as in time immemorial. I think this is the hardest one we've ever done. Nick and I both agreed off air. There's only maybe 2 people we know on Earth that are going to get this, and we know that they're both watching. So he started his career at City. Then went on loan to Cambridge United. I think we all remember 02-03, that season, that treble assault season. Famous, of course, for his 11 appearances at Cambridge. Most of us remember those 11 appearances ahead of the triple assault season. Then he went to Burnley, our opposition today. Then he played for the mighty Red and White Wizards. Not terribly well. I remember a stinker he had at Ellen Road, actually cost us a goal. 15 appearances, no goals. We quickly loaned him out to the Terriers, and then he went on to play for Rochdale. Not too many games there. Dunfermline, not too many games there. And really found his feet at Fleetwood. You could call it Feetwood. 73, 1 goal, and finishing at Chorley, which is where Jebbo was on loan earlier in the season. I've officially filled for the amount of time that I think is acceptable. So 3 goals in his entire career. Who is this man? Now I want the answers on screen. Don't keep me talking any longer.
I love that he didn't score a goal until Dunfermline Athletic.
I've been to Dunfermline Athletic. I covered Dunfermline against Rangers back in 2005, one of my first ever sports journalist jobs. Things. Yeah, I got to interview Alex McLeish.
That's lovely. Do you know, back to this, the only team that I remember him playing for, or remember him in that shirt, is Burnley, obviously us, and Huddersfield.
So has no one got this? Bobby, has not a single person got this? Oh my goodness. We did say this one might be too difficult.
No one's even tried. That's the thing.
At this point,
Jay McEvely. Brilliant.
It's at this point when I'm going to bring in Adam. Bobby, if we just drop that from screen for a second, and we'll just bring in Adam, because Adam, I know... Look at that, Nick. I know, Adam, that you will know the answer to this. Are you going to put us out of our misery?
Sadly not. I'm stuck.
What?
It is so difficult.
It is the most difficult we've ever done. Adam, when I tell you, you will kick yourself. You will get off your sofa, you will get your strongest leg, and you will kick yourself in the arse.
No idea.
We're not telling anyone. When are we going to tell
Adrian, if you don't know, no one's going to know. You were our last.
We've got one.
Oh, Michael, what a legend. Adam, how did you not get Stephen Jordan?
Yeah, I erased him from my memory. Not surprising for the Blades. Really,
Adam. Adam. I feel like this has soured the whole game. Well done, Michael.
Are we allowing him to stay on?
I mean, it's got to be a question, hasn't it? Great graphics from Bobby. Once again, let's bring attention to that. He does a lot of work on these. And first of all, finding pictures of Stephen Jordan is a job in itself. So well done, Bobby. Thank you very much for that. And well done, Michael. Gosh, that was tough. Okay, last one. This one's much easier. With which club did former Clarets and Blades left-back Stephen Jordan begin his career? Who was paying attention? Let's see who's the quickest on this. Let's see who's actually looking at that graphic properly before kickoff. First person to get this one right, pop it in the comments, and then we will move on and probably never do the quiz ever again. It was, Adrian, Manchester City. Well done to all of you that said City. And thank you. Adam, let's introduce you properly. This is our stats man. Adam, when it comes to stats, as long as they're not related to former Burnley left backs, he knows his stuff. Welcome, Adam.
Afternoon, lads. How are we doing?
Great to have you on. More importantly, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. 90 minutes away from the end of this torrid season.
Give us some stats. That's what you know.
Stats. What sort of stats would you like?
Well, we've got Burnley coming up. What can you tell us about this game?
This game, Burnley only won once in their last 18 visits to beautiful downtown Bramall Lane.
Yeah, I know this. Hang on. Drawing 5, losing 12. And they won, it was 2018, wasn't it? That 3-2 in the Championship.
It was indeed. And the Blades have only won one of the last 7 against Burnley, which was the fixture last season, 3-0.
Wouldn't mind a repeat of that. Absolutely. That would be incredible. Yeah. And something I've been looking at, Adam, is United have had 60.1 expected goals this season, scoring 19, which is dreadful. And Burnley have had 52.3 expected goals, scoring 33. So both of us are bad at scoring our expected goals. We have a shot conversion rate of 6.3%. They have 9.1%. What else have you got, buddy?
What else have we got? So Sheffield United have won their final league game in just one of the previous 4 Premier League campaigns and lost the last 3 in a row since beating Chelsea 4-2 in 1992-93.
Wow.
And Burnley have also lost their final league game in each of their last 4 campaigns. And their last win, incidentally, was at Charlton in 2015-16, where they won 3-0. Which was the last time they finished a league campaign away from home as well. So they've had a lot of home games to end the season.
Love that. 1890, the year of the first competitive game between the two sides. That was in the FA Cup. United won 2-1. Before we kick off, Nick, do you want to just run us through the Blades team and I'll do the Burnley team?
Of course, mate. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. We always do that. Quick one. So Aaron Ramsdale in the goal. Back 3 of Basham, Egan and Jackie Longthrow. Baldock and Stevens at wing-back. Ollie Norwood, defensive midfield. I think he's played pretty much every game this season, Ollie Norwood. Osborne, Fleck in the midfield. McGoldrick and Jebo up top. Where are we going to get the goals from in this game?
Adam, what do you think?
Hopefully Jebo can chip in with one. I mean, we've only had 2 draws. Another record which is on the line, don't forget. Manchester City and Tottenham also with 2 draws in a full Premier League season. So it's a chance to break another record. Obviously, I'd like it to be 1-1, so we get to 20 goals. Because never in the history of top-flight football has a team scored less than 20 goals in a season.
Getting a great ovation, we understand. So the Blades players, I think, deserved. We are ahead of schedule. Got to remember that in the Premier League. Yes, this season hasn't gone the way we'd have hoped. The game is on BT Sport 3. We will be doing the Watchalong. You can pause us or pause your telly to get level. The Burnley team has Norris in goal. Former Blade, Matt Lowton at right back. Then there's Tarkovsky, Dunn and Taylor to complete the back 4. They've got 4 across the middle. Goodmanson, Westwood, Cork, whose dad played for the Blades. Dwight McNeil, then Brownhill and Wood up front. You know what I like about that, Nick? The names. Apart from Goodmanson, all of those are good, old-fashioned, and Tarkovsky, British names, aren't they? You've got your Norrises, you've got your Lowtons, you've got your Taylors, you've got your Dunns, you've got your Corks, you've got your Westwoods, your Brownhills, and your McNeils. You love to see it.
Do you know what I was going to say? When you said his dad played for Sheffield United, I was like, Goodmanson, I don't remember that.
Alan Goodmanson. What kit has Adam got on, says Lenny. Am I not mistaken, Adam? You're wearing the one that Nick's got behind him.
Yeah, it's in the corner.
Yeah, I've gone for the previous relegation shirt, but in tribute to Luton Shelton.
Well played,
of course. Sadly passed this season. And also for John Stead, who's hung up his boots after an illustrious career. So it seemed only fitting to pay tribute to Steady as well.
Not to Steady. Definitely not to Steady.
Because he hasn't responded.
Because I tweeted him and he did not tweet back. So no, We don't like him anymore until he tweets back, and then yes, we do.
I agree with Nick wholeheartedly. I will just make a serious point. We didn't leave Stephen Jagielka off our tributes. He never actually made a first-team appearance for the Blades, but Nick and I did a very fitting tribute to him straight after he'd sadly passed away, already on the channel, but we hadn't covered the others that I mentioned today on this watch-along. So if you're wondering why he was left out, that wasn't something we ignored or forgot about.
No, have you seen that comment?
Chris Wilder is live on 5 Live. I mean, that's not going to help our views. Don't put that on screen. Get rid of that. Have them banned.
That's weird though. That's a talking point. That's a bit.
Of course it is. I'm
only
only joking, and thank you very much for letting us know about that. Yeah. I mean, what you really want is you want Adam on co-coms. So stick with us.
Yeah, and I'm going to go now. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you everyone for being here. All the audience out there. I'm going to leave you, and I'm going to come back at halftime. So I'm leaving in the capable hands of Hal and Adam.
Thank you, Nick.
Guys.
Cheers, buddy. So we are going to be on BT Sport 3. We're going to keep you going with the game. I'm going to be largely doing commentary. Adam is going to be bringing insight. He knows absolutely everything, apart from stuff about Stephen Jordan, that you can possibly know about the beautiful game. We will be pretty much as bang up to speed as we can be with this one, which actually, Adam, is why Nick has left us today, because he doesn't have BT Sport on his telly.
And why would he want to elongate this season by a further 2 minutes?
And correct, Amundo. We've kicked off live from Bramble Lane, Burnley shooting from left to right. We will give you a time check as soon as we get to exactly 1 minute. We will let you know when we're on there, and you can sync up. You can pause your telly or you can pause us. Remember, you can pause us if you are watching on absolutely anything like Facebook or YouTube. If we are, for some reason, ahead, far more likely that the TV will be ahead. You could pause that, get level. You only need to pause it once, and then you're all set for the rest of time. As soon as we get up to 1 minute, I will let you know. And then from that point onwards, I'll only give you sparing time checks. So hopefully we're all good right throughout the game. But early on, it's very much, as you'd expect, a cagey affair with the ball thumped long. So in 10 seconds, we're going to be bang on 1 minute, and then we'll get right into the game, which is Sheffield United 0, Burnley 0, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 minute. Okay, Adam, talk us through what you make of the fact that we are playing a dead rubber, and Bramall Lane, for me, and I might be just guessing and I might be slightly wrong, doesn't look like it sold all those tickets that were allocated.
No, it doesn't look that way. Like I said, we'll not allude to the price, which everyone has their own views on it. It would be good to get back in Bramall Lane, see it in the flesh, but personal opinion, and not the views of the Sheffield United way, is that this was overpriced, and £40, it was a bit over the top, in my opinion. However, it's good to see fans back. It's got the feel of a League Cup game, given
it does
5,000, 6,000 in attendance, which is about right. But no, it is good to see fans in, and hopefully it will give the lads a little bit of a lift. The season is long gone, but it would be nice just to see if we can finish on a high, finish with a win. Just
Absolutely.
something to take into next season.
Bit of positivity. I completely agree. And here the Blades go on their first real attack of the game on this left-hand side. 2 minutes 12. This game is old, and Jebberson getting a bit of a push from Tarkovsky. Referee says, get up. And I think that was just a case, Adam, of shoulder to shoulder, and the young man's got to be a bit tougher there against Tarkovsky.
Yeah, it has. And Jebbo himself had a couple of nudges on a Burnley player early on, and Kevin Friend seems to be letting the game go, which is the right way. I think you've got to let the game go in situations like this. No one wants to see the whistle blown every 2 minutes.
Absolutely agree with that. And Rammers, who has been given Player of the Season and Young Player of the Season, taking that one quite easily from Goodmanson. Yeah,
Ramsdale fully deserves his award, both of them. Player of the Season, it would have been close with David McGoldrick for me, but no, absolutely the right decision to give it to Rammers. And after the shaky start he had for the Blades, he's come back really strong, and will undoubtedly keep many a clean sheet next season.
On this right-hand side, the Blades launching another attack. It's not been the slow start that we actually feared from this game. Both teams have actually managed to get close to the box, but that ball kicked out by Ben Osborne, slightly want away. That kick is not the way he would have liked it to land, and we're on 3 minutes 22. A shot of Sean Dyche. So some strong rumours, Adam, that Sean Dyche actually could leave Burnley because, these new owners have come in and perhaps he isn't going to be as happy as he was before. Do you actually suspect he stays or goes at the end of the season?
I think he'll stay. I do think he'll stay. He's done great things with Burnley. You can't fault him. Especially he did a great job at Watford as well when he was at Watford. Previously, one of Watford's 742 managers since the turn of the millennium. But no, he's done a great job with Burnley, and it's all a question: is can he take Burnley any further? Because they're always flirting towards the bottom end of the table. But they pick up some really good results season in, season out, and they've won some big away games this season.
I owe Nick a tenner. I had you down as after the 5-minute mark for mentioning Watford managers. He had you before the 5-minute mark. Nick has won. Well done in good Nick.
And you led him into that as well.
No, I really did.
You mentioned Sean Dyche, who's managed Watford. What do you expect, Hal?
It's a little running joke that Adam always tries to mention Watford managers on our Fans React, which you can regularly see him on 7 p.m. the following day after a game. Last one coming tomorrow. Here's a ball played through to Jefferson. Is he strong enough this time? No, Dunn will muscle him off and then lay that ball back into Cork, who's thinking about going back to his own keeper, Norris, who's replaced Bailey Peacock-Farrell after a poor performance at home against Leeds, where they were annihilated by 4-0. And you, of course, remember Alan Cork, Jack's dad.
Absolutely. 1993 in the cup run. Who could forget?
What a cup run. Of course, we had to face Burnley on the way to playing our Steel City rivals in that semi-final at Wembley.
We did indeed.
Ball crossed in by
ball.
David McGoldrick, as Adam quite rightly mentioned, another contender for player of the season, but it's been given to Rammers if you are just joining us. He also got the double whoop because he got young player of the year as well. Here's the industrious Ben Osborne on his favoured left-hand side, actually playing on the right side of midfield, though, today because Lundstrom out of favour, knowing that he is leaving at the end of the season. Then Stevens going to cross it to the far post. It's a really good ball. Oh, it was a case of if Jebbo had left that, Didsy would have had a header at the far post, and then it's headed behind. I think it was Baldock, wasn't it, who got the final head on that?
It was. But Osborne's been everywhere in the first 5 minutes, coming up to 6 minutes in. Osborne has been on the left, in the right, up in the middle. It seems that he's been given a free role, and McGoldrick seems to be deeper than we've used to be seeing. Is this something that he's trying out? Because Osborne, like I said, he's been on the left, on the right, and he was the furthest man forward in the middle. Interesting. And
BT Sport have David McGoldrick playing in midfield with Osborne alongside him and Jebbo as a lone striker. Now, that isn't the way that it's going to pan out. We know that. It's 3-5-2 no matter what.
Exactly.
Yeah, ball played back to Aaron Ramsdale in his own 6-yard box. He's got a good kick on him, Ram, as he looks for Daniel Jefferson. I do hope that we aren't going to see too much of the ball played up to Jebbo in the air. I don't think he is a hold-up target man type. I think he's too skillful on his feet. And Norris, who's in for the injured Pope, will clear that ball forward. We're on 6 minutes 32. Burnley finally managed to get that ball down and can actually start to pick a pass or two out. It's a case of very cagey affair. The former Blade, Matt Lowton, being put under some pressure, but he does really well to get that away. And I think, Adam, we could say that Matt Lowton's had a career that's been very good and perhaps better than we first would have initially suspected, having seen him come through the youth ranks at Bramall Lane. Yeah,
it's one of those where he's gone to a less fashionable club in Burnley, but he's a steady 7 out of 10 man. I've always found that he very rarely has a bad game.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely fair. And at the back today, he's playing alongside the incredibly sure-footed Tarkowski, a target at the beginning of the season for West Ham, but all their offers were rebuffed. And perhaps he'll look at the way that West Ham's season's gone and maybe regret that.
Yeah, maybe so. It's that old adage, do you stay with the club that gives you your name, or do you try and move on to bigger and better things? But as much as I dislike West Ham, I have to give them credit. What a season they've had, and a point away from European competition, which for a club that didn't want David Moyes when he first came in, is a remarkable turnaround.
And here's a chance for Wood, but it's really good defending, strong defending, as well as the Blaze managed to clear that one out for a corner. He is the danger man, number 9. He always seems to get into double figures, the Kiwi, Chris Wood. It was a ball not too dissimilar to what you'd probably expect from a regular Burnley game that was played long, over the top, from their own half, and he just cushioned it down. But quick and close, tight defending from John Egan, manages to get it out. And it's interesting seeing fans back on the Kop. I don't think I've ever seen it that sparse, Adam.
No, like I said, only maybe League Cup games when it's been open. So it's generally been the two sides that have been open.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's so rare because we normally just don't open it.
But it's interesting they've used all four sides of the ground by the looks of things, which, yeah. Have you ever sat in the Bramall Lane upper, Al?
Yeah, I regularly.
Yeah.
In fact, the last game I went to, the Norwich game in March, I sat in the Bramall Lane upper. That was a header from Wood from the corner, which goes wide, actually takes a little nick off Chris Basham when it was on its way towards the goal. And that'll be another corner on this right-hand side to the Clarets. And I think, Adam, I've sat everywhere except that kind of, whatever it's called, pucker pie corner. Ball crossed in this time. It's at the near post and it's headed away by Ollie Norwood. And Jebison decides not to jump for that. And Matt Lowton will get that. And here's now Burnley on the attack again with a shot that comes in from Dwight McNeil. A great save from Ramos. That was going in, Adam.
It was going in, but straight at him. We'd expect Ramos to make the save there. Just dipped on him a little late looking at that. It looked like it was going to be sort of comfortable. And then it just seemed to move a little bit in the air. If I'm not mistaken. Just a late dip and Ramsdale just tips it over the bar, make sure.
Captain Kosa asking, Hecky mentioned getting Osborne to be a master of one position rather than a jack of all trades. What position would you have Osborne focus on, Adam?
Depends on what formation we go with moving forward. If
we're going to go with 3-5-2. I think that's clear.
If it's 3-5-2, I would have him as left wing back. I think he's shown good attitude in defending, and that early cross that he puts into the middle, which we've seen on several occasions, I see him as a replacement to Ender Stevens long term.
I agree with that. Yeah. By the way, here's a corner to Burnley on this left-hand side. I want to shout out Stuart Lawson. What a lovely comment. You've made my day. I really appreciate that. I was on All Leeds TV last Friday, and I got a load of grief on there, Adam. It was my last appearance, and I appreciate it. That's nice to get something positive coming from this. Looks very windy at Bramall Lane. The ball just moving, and Ashley Westwood having to place that one down again. The number 18. We're on 10 minutes 21. He's going to cross this in, looking at the far post this time, and it's a case of who wants it more. It's actually just headed up into the air where Didsey will try and get that one clear, but actually fallen. Then a question of handball. Didsey can't shepherd it away, and instead Jack Cork wins it. It's really busy in there. Another appeal for a penalty as Didsey gets a block in, and then Didsey again gets his foot in and tries to clear it away, but Jack Cork gets ahead to it to find Goodmanson on the right-hand side. We're approaching the 11th minute, and still Burnley keep that pressure on, and then they eventually decide they can't cross that ball in, so they're going to go all the way back to James Tarkowski, who will just cross the ball to Charlie Taylor, the former Leeds left back. And that was a bit of a hairy, scary moment, Adam. Didn't like it.
Yeah, there's a time and a place for playing football like that, but Didsey just dilly-dallying on the ball, trying to turn inside his own box, which is criminal. And a second later with that challenge, and we'd have seen a penalty to Burnley. There's times where you just need to put your left boot through it.
Fantastic tackle
to get across in.
And he does get the good ball in. It was Norwood who initially set that up with a really good challenge, and then a lovely played ball through, which just was slightly behind his man. And Osborne getting down that left-hand side, put that cross into the far post. And this is decent football. We're only 11 minutes 33 old in this game, and it's been end-to-end so far. And you feel like whoever scores first is most likely going to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, the history would suggest there's not going to be many goals in this game. And in a season of 1-0s, why not just end it with another 1-0?
It's a dead rubber, and
why not?
Absolutely recognised by the fact that not all the tickets have been snapped up instantly for this game. Burnley, Adam, made a decision to give the tickets away for free and asked fans to donate to charity. Do you think that should have been the way that every club went in the Premier League?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. After the year we've been through, particularly, I mean, they were playing Liverpool as well, if I'm mistaken.
Yes, that's a big game as well, more appealing than this one, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, my views earlier, I think the club has rather made an error of judgment on that one. I understand it to an extent. It's the Premier League. It's a chance to get a little bit of money in. But what I would have liked to have seen was for the players to fund the tickets for this game. You're talking, what, 200 grand between them. And, it'd been a nice gesture. And then the fans who were lucky enough to get tickets could have made a donation for charity. There has been a campaign in the background where fans not attending the game have been able to donate to the local children's hospital, which I think is a campaign which has taken off really well, particularly in the back end of the week. And I think that's really good to see.
Let me give a special mention to a friend of the channel, Dean Hussein, who created that Sheffield Children's Hospital cause that Adam is referring to there. It's already hit the £3,000 mark. I've donated to that, and well done all of you that have. We have promoted it on social media. It's a wonderful cause, and the club actually got behind Sheffield Children's Hospital and offered staff free tickets. As Matt Lowton tries to work his way into the box, referee thinks about blowing his whistle, decides against it. It's actually going to be cleared by the Blades. Quite composed football. Sometimes we see flashes of last season when we were so incisive and so quick. That movement off the ball was just, we were like ants everywhere. You look back on some of those highlights, like against Manchester United, the 3-3. I don't think I'd ever seen such incisive movement from my red and white Wizards, and that's been lacking this season, Adam.
It has. And every Sheffield United fan will tell you, all you want to see is effort, 100% effort every single game. Look at some of the most popular Blades. They're not the most skillful, they're not the most talented, but they put the effort in. Ben Osborne this season, for example, he gives it 100% week in, week out. He's not the most talented player at the club, not by a long stretch, but he gives it absolutely everything. And that's what these fans love, and that's what they want to see. We can accept losing, we can accept relegation, but we need to see effort.
Ball crossed in. This is a decent chance after a great takedown from Didsey following that goal kick. And Didsey at the far post, going to get that ball back, tries to get a foot on it, but it goes over the bar. Norris was nervy. That was pretty good football.
It was. I thought Baldock was going to hit that first time. I think it just popped up too much, and a good little ball back to the back post. And Didsey just couldn't quite get enough on it to test the goalkeeper.
What a season he's had, and in any other season he'd more than likely have won Player of the Year. I said it on this channel several months ago that I felt that if Ram has won Player of the Year, the fact that he's had no fans in to hear them cheer, he's only really seen abuse on social media, because of course you can say 10 nice things to someone, but if one person says a nasty thing, you remember the one nasty thing. That's human nature. So he'll have struggled, and this will mean a lot to him. Here's a chance though for Burnley. I'll just break off that tangent as this ball on the left-hand side was won by Brownhill, then back to Cork, and Charlie Taylor thinks about crossing it in, but instead they do go back, and that's good pressing, Adam, from the Blades.
Yeah, it is. Basham had the chance to get it clear. He took a touch, slightly heavy touch, which put Burnley in, but the Blades recovered nicely. As Egan nice and strong in the header away there, and now a chance for the Blades to look to try and create something down the left-hand side. But Ender Stevens just isn't getting forward this season. It seems last season it was go, go, go. This season it's take a touch and stop. And back, that gave Burnley a chance to regroup, and the ball in behind trying to find Jefferson was unsuccessful.
I'd love to get a psychologist to sit down with Ender and just show clips of what he was doing last season and saying, that's not someone else, that's you. You were nutmegging Chelsea players at Stamford Bridge. You were bombing forward when you got the ball. You were knocking it past a player and running around them. And he's right, you're right, Adam. He's stopped doing that this season. And I've no idea why, but it's not the Ender of old.
It's not.
Oh, this is a decent chance for Osborne, puts across in probably a bit too early, would you say, Adam? There was no one actually there. He just swung a leg.
It wasn't, but I don't mind that. We've benefited from Osborne, particularly remember the early cross at Bristol Rovers away in the FA Cup earlier this season. And it's a good tactic, get the ball in early. It's not always going to come off, but better than dilly-dallying. It could have caught Burnley cold, but there was nobody far enough forward to get on the end of that one.
Now, we want to know where you're watching around the world. We know we get people viewing from every corner that can't be a beautiful downtown Bramall Lane today. Put your comments in of whereabouts you are in the world, and Bobby in the background will bring them up on screen. Also, don't forget to give this a like if you haven't yet. If you are just joining, Nick is going to be back at half-time and full-time. I'm here with Statsman Adam. Give him a follow on Twitter. Adam, give us your handle.
At AdamBlade83.
Because he's 83 years old. That's a free kick to Burnley. Not a lot in that. Didsey just trying to win that ball back after a heavy touch, and referee saying he caught Cork, but I thought there was absolutely nothing in that. Just play on.
Yeah, he's just trying to hold hands with him, isn't he?
Hold hands and have a little dance, yeah. By the way, the Matchday programme, if you can support the club and get the programmes, it's always a good thing to do. Adam, have you seen the debacle that is the programme this time?
I haven't. No, I haven't seen the programme, but I know page 66 at the front. Is it
67? Is the first page?
67.
Yeah, so that's your,
page 33 at the back. Yeah,
that's your opening page. Page 33 at the back. Absolutely, it's a real mess. It's a shame because it's of course the game where fans are back and they'll be buying their £3.50 match programme.
Yeah, we'll go back to programmes £3 next season.
I'd love that. I'd love that. If you get rid of VAR and bring back £3 match programme, you'll have a lot of happy Blades.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks to all of you, by the way, putting you where you are in the world in the comments. We are reading those. Appreciate that.
Of course, the last game with VAR at the moment.
At the moment, a lot of strong rumours that it could be introduced to the Championship, but I've actually seen different reports. Some say it's not going to happen, no way, and some say it might.
Yeah, we shall see.
We don't want it, obviously, that goes without saying. I don't think there's a single football fan that has said that VAR has enhanced the game. It could enhance the game, but not the way it's being utilised. And we saw it in the World Cup in Russia in 2018. There was only 2 really bad decisions, admittedly one in the final, where it was utilised incorrectly. If the right people have it in their hands, it works. It's actually a good idea. You want the correct decisions. But I don't know about you, Adam. I like when a goal's scored, I can go crazy and know after I've glanced at the lino, that's going to count.
Exactly. And how cricket fan like myself, and the system that they use in cricket, the DRS, it gives a good margin of error. So in cricket, is the ball hitting the stumps? 50% of the ball, it gives a margin of error. Bring that in for offsides. Is it over the goal line? That's clear cut. It either is or it isn't. For offside, when the ball's played, let's put a margin of error in. I mean, when you're a fingernail offside and some of these ridiculous decisions, it's just not football, is it?
It's not football, and there was never officially the daylight rule, but everyone said it. It's a bit like the myth of if you peed in a swimming pool, you have that purple dye. That never existed. That's never been a thing, but everyone's heard about it. It's the same with the daylight rule and offside. It never was officially a rule, but actually, why not make it a rule? Anyway, just our thoughts. We're like 2 old angry men yelling at clouds.
Now's a chance.
Here is a chance. Osborne on the left. He's going to cross that ball into the far post. It's a good one. Oh, it's just nicked off Jebo's head. Oh, Adam, that was a really great opportunity.
It was.
Play on, says the referee. There was a foul there, wasn't there?
It was a foul. I thought he was going to blow up. In fact, it looked like he had blown up, but
it did.
Deceivingly, one hand forward like that.
Yeah, it looked like the whistle was in the mouth. Yeah, but Burnley on the attack now. We're on 20 minutes 14, and again, that ball is swung from distance, and a chance now for the Blades with Jefferson, but actually he turned there not knowing that a Burnley defender was right in front of him.
That's it. Well, the crossing from Osborne on the previous attack, it was just between both. It was too long for McGoldrick and not quite long enough for Jefferson, which is a little bit frustrating. But another good delivery from Osborne. It's just finding the player.
Little bit more height on that cross, and it would have fallen perfectly for Jefferson, but it gave the defender for Burnley just that absolute key moment to get an interception and get it clear. And this game's not been too bad. Okay, it's a complete dead rubber. Neither side's actually playing for anything. It's about pride. And some people will say things like it'd be good if Sheffield United could build some momentum going into next season. That's absolute nonsense. The amount of time off that it's going to have in between there, the different personnel, the players coming, the players going, which, by the way, we will cover on this channel at our end of season fans forum on the 1st of June at 7 p.m.
And a new manager to come in, of course.
Strong rumours about Slavica Jokanovic, which will be very interesting. As Adam, you pointed out to here, Slavica Jokanovic's red and white army. It doesn't really scan, does it?
It doesn't. And will a new manager do a complete and utter clear out? That's the question.
Which manager have we had that worked best to that song?
Neil Warnock.
Neil Warnock's red and white army. If you could have, I think that's maybe one syllable too much.
Yeah, we had to. Well, we changed it to Chrissy Wilder's red and white army to try and make it fit.
Didn't really work either.
Danny Wilson's red and white army.
Danny Wilson's red and white army. David Weir's red and white army. No,
don't remind me of the,
I'm
David
just talking
Weir's
about
red and white army. No.
Stuart Davis, you're an absolute legend. $4.99. Thanks so much for keeping the Blades fans together this season. Collective misery is so much easier up the Blades. It's been gallows humour, Stuart. You are absolutely spot on. That's what's got us through. It's been the worst season in my lifetime. And Adam as well, I'm sure, would agree, largely because we haven't been able to go.
Absolutely.
Here's Ben Osborne on that left-hand side, doing a little dance with his feet and then actually not going anywhere. Had the chance to whip it in early. Ender Stevens does, and it's over Didsy's head. It was just behind him as well, Adam. That was the wrong ball.
Yeah, it was. And, Ender of old, I thought he would have really gone in and he could have taken that in, driven towards the byline, looked to bring it back, but it was a needless early cross and it was nowhere near anybody.
Yeah, Brownhill managed to get it away, and now Burnley still keeping just tight and close possession without actually doing anything. Certainly no damage yet. They've just looked like they're just going to keep possession and pass it around. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw the possession stats, and Bobby will bring those up, of course, at half-time, that Burnley have had more of it, which is often the case this season. We do tend to have less than the opposition. But interestingly, in their games, so do Burnley. So it's two teams that don't want the ball.
Absolutely. But it's what you do with the ball, which is key. So
Yeah,
despite it being quite an entertaining game, there's been no real saves to be made by any keeper.
Didsey shot from the area! Yes. Number 17 does the big muscles, gives it the guns. It's certainly not sunny, but 23:35 on the clock when Didsey, from the edge of the area with his right boot, decided to curl a ball from distance, Adam, past Norris in the Burnley goal. Lovely goal. That was pretty similar to the goal at up at the Emirates early on in the season, where he just curled it round beautifully into the bottom corner. And Bobby, you know what time it is. Oh, good to see that again. And Bobby in the background will be revealed. I can officially reveal on the fans forum. So he is the Stig of the Sheffield United way. You'll finally get a chance to see that he does actually exist. There's a lot of people that tell us he doesn't. You'll get to see him on the fans forum, 7 p.m. Mark it in your calendar on the 1st of June. Lovely goals. You know, he put it postage stamp stuff. That's the only place, Adam, that Norwich couldn't have got it. No, he couldn't get anywhere near it. It's almost Dean Saunders-esque with the finish. Dean Saunders scored many goals like that for the Blades when he used to cut in and curl it round. Yeah, you're right. You know, Dean Saunders would pass it. Yeah, into the back of the net. Absolutely spot on. So will Norris again? Will Norris concede it without making a save? Yeah, true. We're on 25:09. If you want to keep up with us, you can pause us. You can pause your telly. Jefferson again, Adam, not quite strong enough there when faced with that ball over the top, and Dunn managing to push him out. Yeah, he's got to work on his body strength. That's one thing I noticed about him in the previous sort of 2 games that he's played, that he needs to sort of bulk up a little bit and use that little bit of nous. But he's young. He's got plenty of time to learn. He's signed a contract, and it'll come. He's one for the future, most definitely. It'll come. Cross in from this left-hand side for Burnley. And it's cleared away by Chris Basham at that first ball in. So Burnley not able to beat the first man. Something we've seen so many times from the Red and White Wizards this season. But it is United who have the lead in this final game of the season at beautiful downtown Bramall Lane. We don't often always win these final Premier League games of the season. I can remember 1 or 2 very important final games in the Premier League, Adam. Yeah, we'll not. No, we'll not talk about them. Absolutely right. But 1-0 at the moment. David McGoldrick, as you can see on screen, getting that goal, and what a goal as well. If you have just joined us, it was absolutely postage stamp stuff from the edge of the box, not dissimilar, as Adam quite rightly said, to that goal away at Arsenal. Right foot curler past Norris, who's in for the injured Pope. Now Burnley try and get her back on the score sheet with the ball crossed into the box, which will actually just be kept alive, and it's going to be swung back in. The former Blade, Matt Lowton, will get that cross in, but absolutely nobody there. They are only playing with one up front, so it will be hard for them, I think, to get on the end of things like those kind of hopeful looped crosses, Adam. It will, and John Egan's been a rock. He's won most things in the air today already, which is pleasing to see. Shot from the edge of the box again. Thing is, I like this, but Blade's hitting other teams on the counter. It's great. And when you think that Burnley are a team that would be famous for doing that, well, we're hitting them on the counter because now we've scored. They've got to come at us, which they don't like doing. Yeah. I mean, Osborne there had the freedom of the midfield. There wasn't a player within 15 yards of him, which from a Burnley perspective, and Sean Dyche will be absolutely livid with that. Yeah, this could be a forward. Couldn't it, Adam, of the game away at Turf Moor? It could indeed. But he worked the keeper. That's all you can ask Osborne to do from that distance. He worked the keeper, and the keeper, although fumbled it, it was a comfortable save. He did fumble it, and that suggests to me that we've got to test this young keeper. You know, Bailey Peacock-Farrell, Leeds figured out very quickly, because they knew him, he used to play for them, that he wasn't very good at professional goalkeeping. So they fired shots at him and got 4 goals. Well, let's do the same with Norris, because they've got Pope, and he's out, and he is a man that is hard to beat. Yeah, and Pope
will he be going to the Euros? I've reading he's having an operation just 3 weeks before the Euros are due to start. So could that rule him out?
Big question, of course. I think he is one of the best and should, if he was fit enough, definitely go to the Euros. He was that one-man wrecking crew, stopping the Blades, denying the Blades when we played quite well away at Burnley on a night where it felt like if we were playing still now, we wouldn't have scored. It was just one of those nights at Turf Moor.
Oh, it was. It was.
There's Sean Dyche on the sidelines, 28 minutes, 27 on the clock. If you want to get level with us, you can pause us or you can pause your TV, try and get us level once you're synced. Hopefully it just sticks that way. Also, thanks to all of you that have let us know where in the world you're watching. A real mix. I'm always fascinated by that. We do look at the moment more threatening going forward than Burnley, and I think we can just keep this kind of momentum up. Then we can actually hit them again. And I think second goal, whichever team scores next, that's going to be key. Can this ball be kept in by the industrious Ben Osborne? Yes, it can, but Dunn read it quite well, and Dunn is going to come away. He's a youngster, and he's done all right there, actually, though. Conceded a throw-in, so the Blades can keep this pressure on. If you are just joining us, Nick has been replaced today by Statsman Adam.
Dids is very deep. Dids is now very deep. He's dropping. He's dropping back. He's almost in the George Baldock role, and the Blades, they're knocking it about nicely, and they're looking to use this left channel. And as John Fleck brings it forward, chance to he could have played it into Ender there, but he didn't.
He could. We've not seen a lot of Fleck either today. He's been certainly the quietest of the midfield.
Yeah, it's all been a sort of Osborne from midfield.
It has. Jackie Longthrow as well now getting involved, and he's also been quiet, and Ender's going to play that
straight. Ender's played it straight out.
Yeah, not the ball.
And then looks at Osborne as if it was Osborne's fault.
It
clearly wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was the wrong pass, Gromit, and that was a chance there, I thought, on 30 to build that momentum and just kick on, because Sheffield United are playing the better stuff now, and Burnley look like they're on the beach.
They do. They do, but like I said, Sean Dyche won't stand for this. One thing you know from a Sean Dyche side is that you expect a tough battle, and he'll bring the changes. He won't be happy with this from a Burnley perspective at all.
Do you think that they maybe get sort of softened to the fact that he probably yells at them quite a bit, and actually it's going to lose its power after a while?
Maybe so. Not thought of it that way before.
A new croaky voice might be required at Turf Moor.
Yeah, but they're always after... They're playing one way, looking for Chris Wood. Every time they go forward, it's all sort of trying to seek out Chris Wood. And the Blades are handling that threat okay at the moment. I'm not going to put the kiss of death on it.
No, I was going to say.
Only when I say that, it'll no doubt get a free header or something. But,
stop talking now. Ashley Barnes on the bench as a striking option, the Austrian. You've also got Rodriguez, who's a decent striker. Jay Rodriguez. Mateo Vidra, another attacking option. So they do have, I would say, potential for making this game a little spicy in the second half.
They do. I mean, they're certainly not out of it, but it'd be great for Ramos to finish the season with a clean sheet in front of the crowd at Bramall Lane.
To celebrate that Player of the Season award and that Young Player of the Season award, which, if you have just joined us, Aaron Ramsdale has been given. Adam, you should never ask anyone who they voted for. So who did you vote for?
Aaron Ramsdale.
Me too. I voted for Aaron Ramsdale. I know for a fact that Nick voted for David McGoldrick, and we are going to judge him and judge him harshly. Either of them could have got it, and I'm sure Didsy came second. I think it'd be fascinating to know who on earth came third.
Probably Bash.
Maybe Ben Osborne, although he didn't play at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Tough. Maybe Egan.
Maybe. Yeah, there's not been too many in the running for it this season, has there?
No, and last season it was a case of you could have given it to any of the regular 11 and some of the fringe players like Moose. You know, some people even said he deserved it last season, and how quickly we forget, because he's been so awful recently, just how integral he was. Certainly at that middle purple patch that he had in the season, Man United, West Ham, Wolves. He was just really, really great, hitting shots early.
Yeah, Moose had a fabulous minute in one game this season.
I don't even remember that minute.
Yeah, he didn't get injured in it. But anyway.
Nice. I have watched him for the under-23s this season and all the games that have been put on YouTube. Tomorrow, there is that final which is quite exciting against Birmingham, the under-23s PDL final. That's at 1 o'clock, which you can watch on the official club's YouTube channel. I'll definitely be watching that. And good luck to our under-23s. Hopefully they can win that. They won the North section. Can they win the combined North and South section, even though they're playing Birmingham, which you could argue is a Midlands team rather than a North or South?
Yeah. It's great to see the youth.
South.
But it's great to see the youth doing so well again. It seems to be the next sort of production line of youngsters coming through. And that's one thing
Since probably the Maguire, George Long, Jordan Slew intake. And then before that, it was Nick Montgomery, Jags, Tongue, Ben Doan, that group. Yeah.
Simon's onto us. That's why Nick's not here today. He's dashed off to beautiful downtown Bramall Lane. He's going to be unveiled at half-time.
Yeah, unveiled. I'd love to see Nick unveiled. I think that'd be rather beautiful. Ball floated in. Burnley have a free kick just on halfway, and they're keeping this pressure up. Actually, the Blades just playing a bit of head tennis, and it won't fall down until it eventually does. But John Fleck loses that battle to Tarkovsky. He is quality Tarkovsky. You can see it when he's on the ball and when he's muscling players out of the way. He has got quite a lot about his game. I can see why West Ham were so interested, but they overcook a pass, and that'll just roll out for a goal kick. That was the youngster Dunn, who's actually looked fairly impressive. You can see he's a bit of an agricultural defender. He knows what he's doing at the back, and he's in for Ben Mee today, who I actually expected to start. But I'm glad he's not, because I didn't want to keep saying, there's me with the pass.
He's a good player, Ben Mee. I like Ben Mee. I think he's a good defender. But yeah, Tarkovsky always, in his way, reminds me a little bit like Harry Maguire, in the sense that he defends strong, but he's good on the ball. And Harry Maguire is probably one of the best centre-halves on the ball and moving forward. He looks confident.
A lot of head tennis. Well. Just too much head tennis in this game. Seemingly neither team, as we speculated earlier, wanting to actually maintain possession. Didsy's got the ball back, though, after that head tennis. He's going to get a shot in, which takes a deflection off Charlie Taylor, and that will be a corner to the Blades. It just looped up over Norris's goal, and it's on that right-hand side that we'll get to see another corner. For you, Adam, who's our best corner taker in this current squad?
Norwood or Fleck. It's one of the two. But too many corners hit the first man. So
that's why I ask.
That this doesn't happen now. But I mean, in terms of picking a pass, Ollie Norwood is certainly the most talented.
Norwood takes it.
He hasn't found the first man, but
he's found Dunn instead. So it's back to Norwood. He'll get the chance again. Not a bad one. And here's a shot from the edge of the area. Is it? Yes. Oh, it's hit the bar. Oh, what a chance to make it 2-0. It was Chris Basham. What a shot, Adam.
It was. I thought that was going in. I thought that was going in. Burnley appealed for handball, which it wasn't. And yeah, the keeper was beaten, but it was on the wrong side of the post, if you know what I mean.
It was, but didn't he do well where he saw the defender coming and he just dropped the shoulder bash and then fired that rocket? Blades on top. Blades playing better than Burnley. Should, for me, be 2-0 up. And Jebison, again, actually, it's a little bit of a heavy touch there from Jebo, Adam.
Yeah, it is. But Basham hit that one like a train. You could say like a choo-choo Basham.
Choo Basham. Yeah, I'm going to go through the whole song because Nick tells me he absolutely hates it. So I know he's watching.
He's not here.
He's watching. I'm saving his ears. I'm feeling kind. But Didsy playing really well today. I want Jebo to get more in this game. He's just been very unlucky. Everything's kind of bounced off him. He's been pushed and muscled out of a few things. Even just there, a ball was played into him and he tried to just take that first touch, and it was a little heavy, and it went out for a throw into Burnley. As soon as he gets his confidence on, I know he's going to have a great game.
Yeah, he's keen, isn't he? He's eager, perhaps over-eager at times, just to make an impression. And when he's played for the youngsters, it's a different ball game in the Premier League. But he's, like I say, he's got that potential, but he needs to build that upper body strength. And working with David McGoldrick, I think, would be really good for him, because McGoldrick's got that game knowledge, that nous.
Well, they certainly don't come much more physical than Burnley and John Fleck. Very sneaky, little down the back of the.
Oh, that's
It's
that's
cynical.
not good from Fleck. It is. That's
Dwight McNeil who's powering away, gets his head up, looking to make a pass, and John Fleck just puts the studs on the back of the heel, and he gets a yellow card from Kevin Friend. That free kick going to be taken, not a bad one, and Ramsdale comes out but can't collect, and this ball is still alive, but it's fallen to Baldock, and it'll just shepherd that out, and the referee's actually going to say we might have a head injury. It looks like a coming together with Basham. And I think you've got to always say when head injuries are involved, Adam, safety first. We'll just stop things there.
Yeah, absolutely. Ramsdale, though, come out and take everything is what you taught as a goalkeeper. And Chris Basham, what's that? Ramsdale's hip got him on the head by the looks of that.
It's a push from Tarkowski on Basham.
I say hip.
The midriff of Ramsdale because Tarkowski actually committed a foul.
Blood.
Well, I'm not surprised. Blood. I think the referee should have spotted that. So if you haven't seen this, Tarkowski sees Basham coming and literally pushes his head down into the onrushing Ramsdale. There's nothing Ramsdale can do to stop his momentum, and he clatters into Basham. He has drawn blood. Tarkowski knew exactly what he was doing, and that was a bit of wily defending that you see about some of the dark arts, and we've seen one or two of our own defenders who I'm sure had a bit of that about them, Adam.
Yeah, we have. I mean, that's I'd say Chris Morgan. That's all we need to say.
You can read my mind. yeah. Apparently, Morgs used to do a bit of the old fingernails when they helped you back up. That sort of thing. But one of the nicest men off the field, I was actually talking to a good family friend, Kingsley Black, former Blade, last week on Wednesday, and he was telling me about Chris Morgan is one of the nicest people he knows off the pitch. Yeah.
Good story about Chris Morgan, because two stories about Chris Morgan. One, the Wigan game when he got Lee McCulloch. I was sat on the front row of the Cop that day and saw that incident before it was done, on video referral after the game, and he was given a belated suspension. But before one of the games, he was asked to sign somebody's pot. So a young lad had a broken arm.
Good.
Yeah, had a broken arm.
Family show.
And Chris Morgan's reply was, "I'm from Barnsley. I can't write." Which was absolutely hilarious moment for 20 people queuing up for an autograph, and this kid was completely and utterly bewildered. But that was Chris Morgan down to a T, and he stayed out. He stayed out for ages to sign autographs, which is what you like to see. That's before the players now park behind the Cop, where they used to come in via the south stand, which they don't often do now. They seem to be shielded, but it was great to see, signing autographs, collecting the autograph books, and hopefully we can get back to that.
Yeah, I met Chris Morgan on holiday in Mallorca, and he was so lovely. Just had time for all of the family. Even though he was with his own family, he made time to chat to us about the Blades, even though we were interrupting his pizza. Just a lovely man. So, a lot of time for Morgs. I think most people do. There, of course, was that one moment, which we won't talk about. But other than that, great pro.
Yeah. And Mallorca back in the big time, Hal.
Yeah, back in La Liga, absolutely delighted for Real Mallorca. You might think, well, there's teams around them that can still catch them. Well, it's all about the head-to-head, and they've done enough. So, they are up. And wonderful to see. They've got that ownership group led by Steve Nash. If you're a fan of the NBA, you'll know who he is. And if you're not, you won't. By the way, I agree with a lot of people who've said that what Tarkowski did there was really cynical. What is VAR if it's not there to review something like that? There was a cynical kick as well on Didsey just prior. I think Burnley are starting to get a bit frustrated. Perhaps a lot of them don't want to be playing today, but there's no need for what was a calculated push on Bash, which has drawn blood, and a kick on Didsey. Obviously, calculate a kick.
Yeah, it was a bit naughty, wasn't it?
It was a bit naughty, yeah, Adam, spot on. And the sun's come out at beautiful downtown Bramall Lane, unless you're in the John Street, or as my dad calls it, the St. John Street. Which you always liked, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
So just a confirmation of Fleck getting that yellow, well-deserved as well for that little clip on the heel of Dwight McNeil, that all rhymes, as he was running through the centre. If you are just joining us and wondering how Burnley are playing badly, and if you're wondering how the Blades are playing slightly better, Ball played over the top, and a chance here for Burnley on this left-hand side to actually get a cross in. Again, they delay the cross. It's Charlie Taylor who's actually going to go back to Jack Cook. We're on 42-42. If you're trying to keep level with us, you can get us synced. You can pause us. You can pause your telly, and do hit like as well. Also, if you want to be my new best friend, get involved in the super chat. It would really help our running costs for the channel. We've only had one today from Stuart, and it's been greatly appreciated. Nick will be back as well at half-time. But here go Burnley, Adam, on this right-hand side. I sense danger.
Yeah, I think we've got it covered. Yeah, it's easily out by Egan.
I don't like you saying things like that. Jefferson again takes a heavy touch, shot from the edge of the area, and it is saved. Easy. It is easy. In the end, it is easy. No thanks to you, tempting fate. Dwight McNeil getting that shot away, and I think he was clattered just after he got that shot away, but totally accidental.
Yeah, it was accidental. But, yeah, a bit of a stray touch from Jebbo again, though.
Unfortunately, Jebbo needs someone at half-time to just say, right, play your natural game, not the occasion. Calm down. I know there's fans here. I know it's Bramall Lane. I know you want to show them what you can do. Take a deep breath. Calm down. You can play far better than this.
That's the look for the for those that can't see. That's Chris Basham sporting a fantastic bandage, a good old-fashioned black bandage around his head. That is the look.
He looks like he's about to play water polo.
Brilliant. Chris Basham bandanas available in the club shop from Monday. You
heard
it here first.
I'll buy them. And if they don't sell them, the Sheffield United Way will. We do sell merch, by the way. If you want to buy Sheffield United Way merch, check it out if you're on YouTube, just below. Also, get it saved to your watch later, our interview with Martin Wolford. I'm going to embarrass Adam now and ask you, have you watched that yet, Adam?
I've not watched all of it. I've watched
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Bobby, how do we kick him out? Watch the start. You're terrible. That's terrible pass as well. An opportunity to play Fleckin on the left-hand side, and it just rolls straight out for a throw-in about 20 yards away from halfway, and Burnley will look to launch their final attack, you'd feel, Adam, of the first half.
Yeah, they have. They're looking long, and that's going to go out harmlessly for a goal kick. Probably a couple of minutes added at most, and the Blades should be able to see this through to half-time. I do have an excuse. I've been away for a week. I mean,
you have
not the 5-star of Barley, but a very nice trip down to Wiltshire and Longleat and the Safari Park, and a nice little week down south. Although I went for a trip to Bath. That is the city of Bath. That's not the receptacle in which you get. The cost of things down there. I mean, there's no Poundland. I don't know how you live down south, Hal. I mean,
it's because I'm posh, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, is it? I honestly, the cost of things down south, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable.
You can pay close to 100 notes for a haircut. It's ridiculous.
I mean, the parking. I'm not even going to go how the parking, and then they've got this clean air policy. I mean, thankfully, my car didn't qualify to have to pay for that. But
so you didn't have to pay the air quality pollution tax.
No,
which is a real thing in some places, by the way.
It is.
It's ridiculous. But hey, I guess it's all trying to save the world, which I'm not against, in principle.
Yeah. 3 minutes at a time, a minute of it played.
I think there probably should have been more than 3 minutes, Adam. I mean, you feel like when Bash was down, that was a fair chunk of change.
Yeah, a couple of minutes, wasn't it?
A
couple of minutes, and then just the obligatory minute that we seem to have on top of that. But other than that, not to bash him, we haven't really seen the trainer.
But don't worry, dear viewer, we filled that dead time with Adam talking about air pollution tax. So you have not been wasting those 3 minutes. It is 1-0 to the Blades, 46:38 on our clock if you want to sync with us. And Burnley get a decent header into the box, looking for that danger man, Chris Wood. Is the only outlet, Adam, that they keep going for.
It is. It's a bit predictable from Burnley going up to Chris Wood all the time. And John Egan so far dealt with him admirably.
It hasn't stuck at all up top for United with Jebbo, has it?
It hasn't, no. But we're leading. We're 1-0 up. And it's been a good half. wonder what effect the fans has had on the players.
I think you can tell, can't you? This is a bit more like the Blades of old. The sun has come out. Kevin Friend has his whistle in his mouth. He is considering blowing, I think, in about 30 seconds' time. So if there is going to be another attack, it is going to have to be now, with that ball on that right-hand side, launched forward. We're playing the Burnley way. And again, poor Jebbo, he's just not getting the breaks. He's going to have another chance here. And again, it doesn't fall for him. I feel like he does need someone, and he's just, I think, committed a foul there. He does need someone to get hold of him at half-time and calm him down.
Yeah. He has, but he's putting himself about. I think we've got a corner there. I thought
that was a foul by Jefferson, because actually when you see it on the replay, he doesn't foul him, but he also doesn't get the ball, does he? So we probably got away with one there.
Be a lovely time to John Egan coming forward now. Get one on John Egan's head. Here we go.
Absolutely. If we get a second goal now, the Blades win this game. This will be our second corner of the match. Burnley have had 4. It's on that right-hand side. It is going to be swung in, looking for the middle rather than the near post, but it doesn't actually get past the first man of Charlie Taylor, who's the man who gave that ball away for the corner, and then foul. And it is, it's half-time, and Paul Heckingbottom will take his lads in, and I think he'll be relatively happy with the fact that we're a goal up, but there has been some players who've not really got involved in this game yet. I'm thinking we haven't seen a great deal of Jack Robinson. Perhaps that's a good thing, because he hasn't had too much to do on that right-hand side. Goodmanson hasn't seen too much of the ball. John Fleck, really, it was 20 minutes into the game before we really saw Fleck put his stamp on the match. And we've already spoken about Daniel Jefferson. The rest of them, I think, have played absolutely fantastically, and we have been the better side. Sheffield United deserve to be a goal up and should be 2-0 up. Chris Basham clattering a shot against the bar after taking a lovely drop of the shoulder, jinking move away from his man and blasting a ball straight at the upright. But as Adam correctly said, it was on the outside of the post. And as I'll quote you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And what about Ollie Norwood's performance first half? What are your thoughts on that?
Early on, he made a couple of Ollie errors. Then I think he became the Ollie of old. Not quite the ping, but he hasn't given the ball away too many times. Yep. I've been fairly impressed with Ollie Norwood, but I've still not seen Ollie of Ollie. The Ollie that got us promotion and the Ollie that started certainly the first half of our season in the Premier League. What about you?
Yeah, I think he's sat a lot deeper today than what we've seen previously. I think it's good to see him sit deep. It's allowed Osborne to sort of get forward. And then Fleck took a few minutes to work out, am I going forward? Am I sitting back? And what's my role? I think when he worked out that he's going to have some space in midfield, he came into the game a lot more.
One big thing, fewest goals scored was Derby with 20. We have scored 20. We are now not going to be the team with the fewest goals scored, and that deserves proper celebration. You also got a bit of bicep there for your money.
Hey! Ohio!
Ohio!
Here it is.
I'd say the whole gang's here for halftime.
We are. What did we all think of that then? I'll let you go, Robert.
I loved it. Great Didsy goal. Definitely need some improvements on the refereeing, but that's my take from a more cynical point of view there.
Yeah, I'm also behind, so I couldn't listen to this. So I've had to listen to Steve McManaman chat some absolute rubbish.
Well, Adam, I feel like we shouldn't really have been careful with what we said then, because we were being really nice about Nick, and now we know we can say anything we like second half.
Choo Basham.
Oh no.
Here's
I'm going to remove them both then, but no, better not.
Look at the fact that I did say that it felt like Burnley had a lot more possession. Robert, you're our stats man when it comes to half-time, so why don't you talk us through what you've made of what you see on screen?
Yeah, so that possession stat, you were spot on, Hal. 38 to 62%. We definitely have not had a lot of the ball, but obviously making the most of it when we have. It does stand out to me that we still only have a 68% pass success rate. That's really low for us, I think, at least in the last couple weeks that I've been paying attention to that stat. But Burnley also very low with 75%. Some of these games we've seen numbers in the 90s and 80s. So low from both teams, which I think is why we're not really feeling that stat kind of show itself in this game. As far as the fouls, I feel like that's a little off balance, and that's maybe part of my critique of the referee today. But shots wise, shots on target, we're both even. Ramsdale's done a great job getting some good solid saves when he's needed to make some saves. And yeah, just Dizzy's great goal. Long shot, just curves it right into the bottom corner. Brilliant first half from us.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like Osborne's getting a lot of space on that left-hand side and constantly putting crosses into the box, and just nobody's there. Nobody's there at all. Well, Robert, what did you think to the goal from Didze?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, he does these runs. He can run down the sides of the fields. He takes on players and, puts the ball through their legs or whatever he needs to get past them. But whenever he's in the center, you always feel like he's a threat. He's had a couple of these kinds of goals this season so far, and he's definitely tried a lot of them too. More of them going over the top bar than actually into the goal. But today he had it spot on, picked the right spot, picked his timing really well, and paid off for him.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. We'll get rid of that, please, Bobby, off the screen, mate. I think Hallen and Adam have gone to relieve themselves, so we'll have a little chat, shall we?
Yeah.
So I probably shouldn't have mentioned that, but anyway, we'll crack on. To be honest, I thought they were banging on in the commentary about the fact that Nick Pope wouldn't have let that goal in. Maybe the goalkeeper was slightly to the right of his goal. But it was a great finish right into the corner. It's one of them where he doesn't have to be absolutely thundered into the corner. If you can find the corner of the net, it's really difficult, especially for a big goalkeeper to get down and get right into that bottom corner. So, it picked the bottom corner out very, very well. It reminded me of Lys Mousset last season against Man United, where he just caressed it into that bottom corner. And as he was just about to shoot, he was looking around everywhere like he was looking for a pass, and maybe just caught the keeper out by taking it on. But in all honesty, mate, I think that Burnley have not really shown anything that we're to worry about anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they definitely have not done much when they've had it. Obviously, a little bit more of the possession, but it's been a little pedestrian from them. It's kind of one track mind, try to lump it forward and get their striker on the ball, but it's not worked, and it's kind of like us. I think we're doing a little bit this kind of the same thing too with getting Osborne down the left side, him or Enda Stevens crossing it in, and most of those crosses not finding the head of anybody in red and white. But no, it's been good. I think to comment on your the would Nick Pope have saved that? I think it comes down to positioning there. I think Nick Pope, if he was in the same positioning as Norris, probably doesn't get to that. Just the way Didsey gets some curl on that, but. Does Nick Pope have a little bit better positioning? I definitely agree. Didsey looking out. I think it was Jebison who was kind of in that part of his field of vision, probably looking to pretend the pass and then actually going and kicking it. Probably helped keep the goalkeeper off balance a little bit longer.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to talk about Jebison just for a second. You just brought him up. In my opinion, I think sometimes you just want him to make a darting run to take someone away and either receive the ball or make a bit of room for someone to kind of go through. But for me, he's been everywhere. He's got knocked off the ball a couple of times, but he is only a young lad. You look at him and you think he's a big guy, looks like a big athletic guy, and you're expecting him to knock these defenders over, but he's still only a young lad, isn't he? And you're going up against these big, experienced defenders. But what have you made of him this half?
Yeah, he definitely has the height, and I think we see that with some of the tactic of trying to get some crosses in, trying to get ahead to the ball to try to score a goal that way. So they're definitely trying to utilize the height like an Ollie McBurney strategy, but I think McBurney has a little bit more of that size and that strength than Jebison has right now. And obviously that's a couple years of age, couple years of first team training and strength training that Jebison's probably not getting with the under 23s. So I definitely think he can mold into that kind of a player, a little bit more physical up front. But right now he's definitely getting around. I think as the half progressed, he got a little bit more involved, but again, not really as successful with that first touch. I think Hal pointed out a couple times in succession where the ball either bounced off his foot a little too heavy, or he was, getting in the way but not really winning the ball. But it's definitely it's good to see him getting the game time, and this
what it is?
Bode well, really, for his future.
It's Nick. It's Nick who took him out of the starting 11 on his predicted team, and it's discombobulated him. It's upset him. You had Chris Wilder in ahead of Daniel Jefferson, and I think he's been confused about that, with Wilder arguably doing a job today on co-coms on 5 Live instead of playing up front.
I don't know what you're talking about, mate. I
Don't know.
thought Chris Wilder would have done a much better job today, in all honesty. Him and Bruce are up top together.
You're not making it better. That's the hole that's constantly being dug. Poor Daniel Jefferson, who's had a tricky start. It's been one of those games where I think he's really noticed the physicality between under 23s to the Premier League. Oh, wow. We've got a really great donation that's just come in from Joseph Parker. Look
Thank you,
that.
mate.
Well, boys, it's our last Premier League match till hopefully August 2022. Yes, Joseph, I like that optimism. That deserves £10. So he's given us $14.20, which must translate to 10 English pounds. Cheers to the greatest football channel. Well, you wouldn't mind telling 500 of your friends, and then we can get to 13k subscribers for the best Sheffield United fan content. Subscribe to the Sheffield United Way YouTube channel, podcasts with former and current players, fans forums, and watch-alongs. Do subscribe. It's free.
It's free. It is free, mate. And people think we charge an arm and a leg for it because they're just not subscribing, are they? But yeah, like you say, it'd be great to get to 13,000. I wanted it before the end of the season, but I don't think we're going to get that. Don't think we're going to get that in the next 45 minutes. I
had an aim of 13k by the Burnley game, and we need 499 more. So do us a favor, if you haven't yet, subscribe. We know for a fact there are people watching that aren't subscribers. We can see that in the analytics, and also we have followers as well on our social media who haven't subscribed yet. So sort yourselves out. You are a disgrace. And this isn't me talking. This is what Robert said to me off air earlier. So this isn't my opinion. But Robert said, if you haven't subscribed, you are one of the worst humans alive currently. Not my words.
Alive currently.
I personally think that's a bit harsh from Robert, but his thoughts. I would say you've got room to improve. But yeah, anyway, Robert's he's got a want-away mouth. Some of the things he says he doesn't always control.
Jeez, I had fans, people liked me, and now they're not going to.
He didn't really say that.
It's the hair. It's the hair, isn't it? That's why.
God, I love the hair.
Man and Al's hair.
Honestly, mate, Nick, I'm losing all my hair worrying about yours.
It's just not on that. We've had that joke about 6 or 7 times. Get a new one.
I'll tell you what I will get. I'll get a last plug-in. I had 250 of these. No, give me this. 250 of these in the garage. I've got 19 left. So thank you to all of you blades who've supported me. I wrote this with my friend. It is my own book. It's only £6.99. If you'd like a copy, drop me a DM at JNC Pod. I'll give you a signed copy. All right, all hollow, or you can get it on Amazon. That's it, Nick. I've done. Last plug, I promise.
Excellent. I'm still waiting for mine in the post, Al, to be honest.
I'm waiting till we meet, and then I'm going to give you a signed copy.
Oh, were you? Is that what you were thinking?
I'm not excited. I'll sign anything you like.
Ooh.
Don't know how that managed to sound dodgy, but it did, didn't it? Wasn't my intention. Let's bring Adam back, who's had his ablutions and is already ready. Look how excited he looks for the second half.
Absolutely.
This hasn't changed. Same position and everything.
Yeah, Adam, are you saving money where you are? I don't want to put light on. Put a big light on.
You don't need the light on yet.
That is classic Adam.
There's another 4 hours of light. What's wrong with you?
Did you notice the Martin Wolford podcast and Hal's lighting, where it went darker and darker and darker and darker?
Well, I'll tell you what, Nick. No, he hasn't. Adam hasn't noticed that because he hasn't watched it yet.
No. Why is that, Adam? Why is that?
I've been on holiday.
Well, no one
5
cares.
stars.
Get watching
Barley.
it. Barley.
Yeah, no, not quite. Not quite.
Nicky, you didn't hear it, but basically Adam spent the whole first half complaining about air pollution tax. It's been riveting. You're wondering why the subscribers are going down. I think we lost 300 after that. You could hear the audible click of people leaving. Hear it in Barley.
I bet it was brilliant. I bet that first half was brilliant, guys.
Oh, it's definitely a watch again. I tell you what, if you missed that first half, get it watched back. Let's try and get the numbers for this watch along up because I want more.
Have you been bringing any donations in, Hal?
Oh, have we? Oh, I'll tell you what, we've got another one in from Fancy Phil. £4 of the 99. Watch along during the Euros. We'll rack up the subscriptions. It'll be great to see it get to 20k. Phil, I'll tell you what, when they see Nick and Hal rolling out the, and doing
no, we can't do it. We can't do it
then
because it'll be Chelsea and all that rubbish, won't it?
And saying the names wrong. Oh, you wait.
No. Can't do it. Right. Does someone else want to do that with me? Can't be listening to Hal. Can't do it. No, I'm excited for it. That's a great idea about Euros, isn't it, Hal?
Great idea. We will now do it. Robert, do you have any interest in the Euros?
So I have not watched them in the past, but part of that is probably because I've only recently got into watching the foot soccer ball as an American. But I definitely am going to be following this summer. Would have loved to see it last year. Probably a few more Blades players taking a more active role after last season than this season. But hopefully we still get some good representation. I think Flecky maybe being in the Scotland squad.
Correct.
Which is good. And then obviously if Sander Berge's injury, maybe get him in the Norway team. But they're not in the Euros, are they? I can't remember.
Good question.
Good question, Robert. Well presented.
I say these things and then I'm like,
I was just wondering about Greece as well. No, Norway on. I think Norway got knocked out. I thought they looked like they were going to get through, and they did get knocked out.
That's right.
We are into the second half, gents. If you'd like to retain your seats from your current sofa situation, I don't want you to lose that. Thank you very much, Robert. If you want to win people from Sheffield over, do call it soccer ball. That's a good call. We are on 45-35. Adam and I will be doing the honours as we are into the second half. Nick, we will see you at full time. Robert, we'll hopefully see you at full time as well, sir.
Certainly.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
From Ohio to goodbye-o. And we have got Chrissy Basham, who's now taped up his water polo top hat thing. Gosh, it's good that I have lost the ability to speak when we've got 45 minutes to go.
Yeah, well, one change for Burnley at half-time. A second man up front, Mateo Vidra, is the man on, and Josh Brownhill has been replaced. So it looks like two up top for Burnley, going for it a little bit more. Thought Sean Dyche would be a man to make changes, and it looks like that's what he's done. So probably a slight change in formation for Burnley. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, Brownhill, someone I've had the pleasure of speaking to, actually. His brother serves in the military, and I work with the MOD, so I had a chance to speak to him and his brother when he was back in his Bristol City days. I want to try and get that right. I think it was Bristol City when I spoke to him. We're on 46-37. If you want to get synced up with us, you can pause us. You can pause your TV. We are providing a watch along. We are not streaming the game because it's illegal. By the way, Ethan Ampadu, Adam, it's a goodbye to Ethan Ampadu. Your final thoughts on him as he goes?
Thanks for the memories. He started off, like many of the team, very poorly, but came into his own. I think he's a solid championship player. Whether he's up for the Premier League full-time remains to be seen, but he's certainly got some potential. Overall, I'd say it was a decent signing. He's done a steady job for us, particularly with losing Jack O'Connell for all season. We definitely, needed someone to come in, and Ampadu came into his own. Of course, let's not forget he was starting in midfield early part of the season, but then found his home in that back line. And overall, I think he's done all right. Would I like to see him with us next season? Yes, I would. Would he drop down to the Championship? Probably not. I suspect we'll see him at somewhere like a Newcastle, somewhere like that next season.
Your Newcastles, your Evertons, your Burnleys. Absolutely. Ampadu probably not going to make it into the Chelsea side. Daniel Jefferson looking for a good, confident touch to kick off his second half, and unfortunately doesn't take a good touch there. It really rolled off his foot and gave Taylor a chance to clear all the way back to his goalkeeper. Burnley had just had a corner, which was caught brilliantly by Aaron Ramsdale, who just keeps things so cool and calm when he comes out and collects like that. Really does look like an accomplished customer in that situation. Baldock picking up a yellow card as well, Adam. I must admit, I didn't see that.
No, neither did I.
Okay,
it
good.
just flashed up then. Yellow card to Baldock. I didn't see what that was for.
Four eyes on the case, and we haven't got a clue.
No, that's it. We'll give a shout out to Sutton. So Sutton promoted to the Football League today for the first time in their 123-year history, which is after a 3-0 win over Hartlepool. So that would be another ground that hopefully we can draw in a meaningless cup competition to tick off the list.
Yes, of course we could have got them in the FA Cup without them having to do that. But yeah, it would be good to get them in a League Cup game.
Yeah.
I'd quite like Lincoln City. I want to go to Sinsel Bank. I've never been there. Ball played over the top. Here's a chance for Burnley to equalise with Chris Wood. He did look a mile offside. The flag has now gone up. But Rammers wasn't to know that, Adam, and he took it comfortably in his chest.
Yeah, good save. Good save from Rammers.
Thanks very much to Carl. Carl Shipston is the man, Adam. If you're not familiar with his work, he is wonderful, and he's confirmed that Baldock was in the first half he got booked, and it was just BT Sport 3 finally putting that on screen.
Was that for the challenge, like, really early on? And they've taken the best part of an hour to give us... Because he had that challenge where they broke forward and they played on, didn't they? It was only about 10 minutes in.
I remember that, and I said at the time that's a foul, and you thought he'd blown the whistle, didn't you, Kevin Friend? So that must be it. And if that's the case, wow, talk about getting delayed.
Graphics from BT Sport. They need
razor sharp. They do need
man, get Bobby in.
Get Bobby in the background on BT. That's too many B's though, because that would be BITBBT.
Very good.
Thank you. I'm quick, aren't I? It's 50-05 if you want to get level with us. Burnley now starting to up the ante and go up a gear with Goodmanson up against Jackie Longthrow. And Jackie Longthrow will usher him back to the midfield. And he's just going to be slightly tempering that excitement of the attack with Westwood. Westwood can actually switch the play, looking for Charlie Taylor on the left wing back, formerly of Leeds, who finds Dwight McNeil, an exciting youngster who's come through their own youth ranks. But his cross is very poor. And Rammers will say, I'll have them all day. And Adam, you are correct. Carl has confirmed with your assumption of when Baldock got booked. Caught Brownhill's foot.
Excellent. So question then, Hal, and maybe one for everybody in the comments as well. Favourite away ground? What is your favourite away ground to visit and why?
Well, my favourite no longer exists. I used to love going to Coventry. I don't like the Rico Arena, but Highfield Road was a favourite of mine because you were on the side. It was not a hard trip. There was plenty of parking, and we always seemed to get good results. Here's Didsy. I'm just going to come back to that 51-10. Didsy on the edge of the area, tries to get a shot away, and it is blocked. I think he telegraphed that shot a little bit, and Tarkovsky's no mug.
No, it was either going to put it through to Jefferson early or take the shot on. Once he took the touch, it was going to be McGoldrick shooting, and it had been a very good finish to try and beat defender and goalkeeper from that angle.
And Adam, what you said earlier about McGoldrick can teach Jefferson a lot. Jebbo needs to learn from that strength that McGoldrick used there with his foot in. And when I say foot in, I mean he did it fairly on Taylor. It's a cross corner ball, comes in, heads it up, Didsy, and it's going to be caught by Norris. There potentially was a foul in there, I thought, but referee's not interested, Kevin Friend. So you asked the question, Adam. What is your favourite away ground? And do pop it in the comments.
My favourite away ground, Valley Parade, Bradford. Love it. Saw the Blades win 5-0 at one Christmas there, which was absolutely magnificent. But the 3-3 draw of a few seasons back, I was actually sat in the Bradford City end. I say sat, I was stood in the safe standing area, and Billy Sharp put the Blades 1-0 up. And I jumped up, forgetting where I was for one moment, and it was, Sharp, he always scores against us. And then a few Bradford fans around me said that it's all right, we know that you're a Blade. And when you want a nice quiet game and maybe nick it 1-0, you get a 3-3 thriller, which, the hardest bit was when Bradford scored, trying to smile politely.
I've done that. I've been at the Hawthorns, and I did get that 1-0 quiet win, but it was in the last minute. Pesky Salido can hit in the bar. It fell to Asaba, and he just poked it in. and trying to keep. I couldn't. I jumped all over the place, and I lost my match day program because someone didn't take too kindly to that. Anyway, put in the comments your favourite away ground. We've got a free kick to Burnley on 53.08, and it's headed back across. This is danger, but a brilliant bit of football. Now, can Jebison finally keep hold of it? No,
heavy touch again. Again.
He's having a tough time, let's be honest. And he's done really well. He lost it there. Let's be praised where praise is due. He then tracked back and kicked that ball out and did really, really well to give a throw-in to Burnley when they could have whipped another crossing. I think he recognised that he let his teammates down with that heavy touch. He did.
And it's been a lot of heavy touches for him today, but he'll learn from it. And great to see him not just dwell on his mistake. He tried to get back and ultimately won the ball back, which was good to see.
Absolutely, and thanks to Captain Kosa, your favourite away ground, Coors Field, the home of the Colorado Rockies baseball team. That's what we're after. So, Feetham's Darlington, absolutely. Stuart Lawson says I've been to watch the Blades at Darlow in a League Cup game, and I was in the Darlington end, but my dad didn't tell me before we went that we were going to be in the Darlington end, and I wore my Blades top. Wasn't great. Kevin Keegan was sat behind me, actually. I turned around to him and said, "You're Kevin Keegan." And he said, "Am I?" And that was a bit of a stupid thing for me to say. But, when you're young, you say stupid things to famous people.
Kevin Keegan, Armthorpe's finest. Armthorpe, the small little village in Doncaster, just 2 miles from where I grew up. Kevin Keegan, their most famous son.
So an interesting suggestion for Nottingham Forest. As a favourite ground. Hillsborough, love looking at them sad piggy faces when we beat them. I can't say even if we win, I can't say I ever enjoy going to Swilsborough. It's actually a proper dump with weeds growing through it, and it looks derelict from the outside. Yeah,
I'm not a fan of the ground. Not a fan of the ground at all.
It's a really, really bad ground. There's nothing to it either outside. Like at Bramall Lane, you can properly mill about outside in the car park, and you've got the statues. There's nowhere great like that at Hillsborough. In the front, you've got that little bridge. Here's a chance, by the way. 55. Oh, this was it.
Did he? Oh, he's not taking it.
He's not taking the touch, did he? There, he had a ball played into him. He couldn't get his feet out from underneath him, and Tarkovsky was able to clear. And I think if Didsey had taken that in stride, that'd have been a chance to get a shot away to make it 2-0. Filbert Street's a great shout. I've been to Filbert Street. And it was much better to watch football. Again, you were on the side, which I always prefer. Now, a chance for the Blades to make it 2, but blocked by Dunn. That cross from Chris Basham. This is good football, Adam.
It is. We'll go back to Filbert Street. I was in the Leicester end when we won 5-2 to clinch promotion. Sat on the upper tier behind the goal with one or two Sheffield United fans, it has to be said, in the greatest ever Sheffield United kit. Full stop.
It is. It's the away one, the luminous green. Russell remembering that sketch United at Rushden and Diamonds, and we won a penalty shootout. I remember Sean Derry, I think, got the winning penalty. Here's a ball played into Egan. It's going to head it over, and 56-14. No danger there, and Norris will get that ball back from a fan because we've got fans back in the Kop.
Yeah, was it 6-5 at Rushden on penalties, something like that?
Good memory. Hey, Adam, we've done Reading away. Carla suggested that. Nice bunch of fans. Had drinks both before and after the game with them. They are nice fans because they all support Chelsea, so they're not really bothered.
Yeah. I remember talking to a Reading fan in the services on the way back, and then saw him at Bramall Lane in the return fixture. Don't know if you were with me that day, but
yeah, I was. I mean, we went to Reading, didn't we? We went right behind the goal when John Harley scored.
Yes.
That was a great time. They had all those really annoying clapping things.
Yeah.
Ugh. I remember I got us out of the Majewski really quickly and then took the wrong exit and we headed towards Southampton.
Yes. I remember that well.
I drove so aggressively. I got past all these Reading fans. I was like, and then took the wrong exit and we ended up like an hour extra to get home.
And Elm Park, did you ever go to Elm Park, the old Reading ground?
Didn't know. They got rid of that in 98, didn't they?
Yeah, it was mid 90s, but yeah. Some great away days. Looking forward to a trip to Stoke-on-Trent next season.
Oh yes, here's a chance at the far post with that corner for Burnley, headed wide and no real danger. Dunn though doing well to win that. Anthony is quite right. Crew Alex, again, you can be on the side. For Gresty Road, nice little ground, and the Blades I've seen win there many times. Adam, it was always quite close for us when we were at uni.
It was indeed. Nick Montgomery got the winner in a 1-0 win on my birthday. My birthday and Nick Montgomery scoring. It was like Nick a second
Montgomery
birthday.
Score.
Yeah. I've got a shed as big as this. You remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that one. I remember seeing, I was right on the front, on the side at Gresty Road, and I remember Andy Parkinson, remember him? Like falling into the fans, and he like, right into me. I remember that. Yeah, I've seen some good wins there, and of course now they've got Chris Porter, former Blade striker.
Yeah, Danny Cadamarchi got we're 3-0 up in something stupid like 15 minutes when we told the Crew fans they should have gone trick or treating. So that must have been an October game.
Yeah, and I remember Diego Di Girolamo playing at Crew. Whatever happened to him? Is he at Juve now, or is it Inter Milan?
I have no idea. I'm not following his career, but I remember. I remember also losing at Crew. Rodney Jack. I remember him scoring a 90th-minute winner for Crew 1 year. Yeah, that was a bad day.
Trinidad and Tobago striker. Yeah, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Do get involved with that. We need to get the subscribers up to 13k. Our mission, Nick and I set out at the start of the season, was by the end of the season 13,000. We've not achieved it. We are 500 off, and it's disappointing. So if you do watch the channel regularly and you don't subscribe, please make it now. It's free and it takes seconds. We'd really appreciate it.
Great drinks and a meal before the game at Sheffield FC, who, according to many people, have had a disappointing relegation for the Premier League this season.
Here's Jebison on this right-hand side. Now a chance for Jebbo to really put his mark on the game. He's got those Bambi-like legs, and he does really well up against his defender. Does brilliantly.
Go on,
Gets
Jebbo.
a chance to play in a shot from John Fleck. Fleck decides against a shot, and it's going to be laid back. I think that was an opportunity there that the Blades missed. But here is Ollie Norwood. He can recycle possession. Jebison did brilliantly. Maybe got a little bit of luck, but he stuck to it, stuck at his guns, and he needed that. That'll boost his confidence.
It will. I'm glad that Robinson shot was blocked because that was heading towards the south stand.
Oh, Didsy, what are you doing, man? Got a head like a 50p piece with that header.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. 60 minutes, we're bang on if you want to get synced with us.
So, interesting stat then. Burnley have lost all 5 Premier League matches this season without Nick Pope in goal, conceding 17 goals at an average of 3.4 per game.
He's the stats man. Ski da 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 da. Well, fewest goals scored was Derby with 20. We have now scored 20. Of course, one game to play, and that is this. So if we can get one more goal, that'd be great. But we're now level with that. Most defeats in a season is 29. We have 29. So we do not want to lose this one because we would be level with 29 as things stand, with 4 clubs, including ourselves.
Yeah. Least draws in the season too. That's still dangerous with a 1-0 lead that record could go. Well,
yeah, and most home defeats in a season is 14, held by Sunderland. We have 13. So if we lose this game, we'll be level with Sunderland. Those are only the real horror stats, I think, that deserve a mention. The other ones just aren't going to happen. Like most goals conceded at home is 43 by Derby and Wolves. We've conceded 27. We're not going to concede the amount of goals that would take us to 44. It would just be ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, no Sheffield United player this season has more than 2 Premier League assists. John Lundstrom, John Fleck and George Baldock are all on 2. In the history of the Premier League, only one team has gone through a season without a player reaching at least 3 assists. And that was Charlton in 1998-99.
He's the stats man. I love that. All right, so we need some more assists. We need a John Fleck assist to get him up to 3. Would be nice. Lunny's probably not going to be brought on. I think for his own sake. And that's a header that goes back across the face of goal from Ollie Norwood after a punch from Rammers. I think that might have come off his knuckle, and it wouldn't have been the cleanest connection because it went back across the face of goal, and he seems to have hurt the small of his back. Let's call it that, Adam.
Yes, it's a good cross in from Burnley. And yeah, he was sort of second to that ball, really, Ramsdale. He was sort of flailing at that and didn't get the hand up for the punch, and took a knee to the backside. Let's put it that way.
It's again clever play from Tarkovsky. He almost always seems to be in the right place.
Yeah, he does. That's a good corner.
At the near post, it was a really good corner. Adam's absolutely spot on, and it'll be cleared by the industrious Ben Osborne for a throw-in on this right-hand side, 2 yards away from the corner flag. It'll be taken by Gudmundsson, the Icelandic Burnley star, and actually he's going to throw it to the former Blade, Matt Lowton.
In blue boots.
In blue boots. You do not like
got the Chris got the similar blue boots on. That's knocked down by Wood. They just can't get it out under the feet. Oh!
I'll tell you what, Adam, if he heads it back across there rather than heads towards goal, Chris Wood has got a tap in, and that would have been 1-1. And Burnley have just started to turn the screw.
They have. Yeah, a header. Ender Stevens didn't get anywhere near him. A header one there, which was too easy for the Burnley player to head that across.
Interesting. Phil says he used to like going to the old bowling ground. Adam, when I was growing up, I don't know about you, I always called it Upton Park. This bowling ground thing, it seems to be like last 5 years it was called the bowling ground. What's going on?
Yeah. I mean, Upton Park was the fans were on you, weren't they? It's a real close ground. Yeah.
We went to that ground together as well. I remember some West Ham fans being extremely rude to us before the game.
Yeah. Well,
asking us where Sheffield was. Ball crossed in. Norris is going to miss it.
Open net.
Dropping everywhere. It is an open net if the Blades can get a shot away, but they can't. It is cleared on the edge of the area and actually cleared so well that Vidra can turn his man and Basham's going to haul him down. That was really agricultural. Yeah, it was really agricultural defending from Chris Basham. A clear yellow card, and Kevin Friend has no hesitation in booking the Polo player. I think Bash there was turned far too easy. Not easy to turn a man when you've got the ball, and Basham just brings him down once, twice, 3 times a lady with the arm. I didn't need to do that. He should have been stronger in the first place.
He should. But that plaster on top of the bandage, that's going to take off, isn't it?
You think so?
Fashion styles from Chris Basham. I think that's the second time I've seen him in such headwear. I can't remember which game it was, but he got a hit on the head maybe last season or the season before, and he was very similarly in a white bandage at that point, which looked much more suspicious, let's say. Family Channel.
Yeah, Family Channel, absolutely. There was a header there from Burnley that just goes to absolutely nobody. Ramos will watch that one go out. First half was all really, in terms of like attacking moments where you felt there was going to be a goal, all Blades, even though both sides had 6 efforts. I was never unduly troubled by Burnley. This half, Adam, Burnley have started a lot better and look far more dangerous as we hit 65.
They do. Vidra's given us another problem to think about.
Oh, yeah. I think going 2 up top was always the way that they should have approached this game, to be honest. 1 up top away from home, when that 1 up top is a man that holds the ball up, was a strange decision. Because they know they can get at Sheffield United. Of course they can. Right, we're on 65-25, and Didzy plays a lovely ball back in. Any chance here for Jebbo? Oh, he couldn't get that right foot outstretched enough because, of course, who else but Dunn, who's marshalled him so well today, was able to get that foot in.
Yeah, it was very, very similar to the goal he scored at Everton. However, this time the defender stuck in with him and didn't step forward, which is inexplicable at Everton. But that would have been a carbon copy of the goal at Goodison Park had the defender stepped out and Jebbo knocked that one home.
It would have been, because Jackie Long Throw, I nearly called him Jack Robinson. What a stupid name that would have been. Was the man who put the ball in. Now that ball's headed out from that corner. It's going to be brought back in, and then a bizarre clearance from Jack Cook, not where he wanted it to land. It falls at John Egan's head, who heads it in the worst place he possibly could have put it, and it's going to be cleared fairly comfortably by Burnley, who, again, with Matt Lowton, don't look where he clears it, because it goes all the way back to George Baldock. And then for some reason, we've decided to play that back to Ramos, who's actually going to keep cool and calm and play it to Chris Basham. And you do wonder, with Basham taking such a knock to the head, if he's actually 100%.
It's a graze for somebody as tough as Bash. That northeastern attitude, he's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Chested down actually by Chris Wood, who's looking for his strike partner, Mateo Vidra. They still have Jay Rodriguez. They still have Ashley Barnes, the Austrian, on the bench. So they've got attacking options, Burnley, and you feel like they could at any point just start to go into that next gear, because we're starting to look, as a collective unit, Adam, a bit more vulnerable.
We are. Probably time for some fresh legs as well.
Oh, definitely. Jebbo's probably the man I would take off.
Yes. Brewster?
Maybe. I mean, I do want goals. Jebbo makes a very poor challenge on Charlie Taylor there, and quite rightly a free kick, but the Burnley players obviously do nothing with it, because we were watching a replay, and by the time it comes back, John Fleck's on the ball, and then he plays it to his midfield partner, the other left footer in there, Ben Osborne. And here's a chance for Didzy, who's always on the move, always looking for options and finds Jackie Longthrow on this left-hand side. He decides against crossing it in. He sees that Daniel Jemison was the only option in there. I think they want Didsey to get closer and get into that box. But again, he's going to float on this left-hand side. And it's quite bunched up there. You've got Jackie Longthrow, you've got Osborne, you've got Norwood, you've got Fleck, all on the left-hand side. Get it across to the right where there is so much space. But instead, the Blades really force it themselves by causing their own problems and taking it into that busy part of the pitch. Dwight McNeil does brilliantly to find Vidra, and then that last-ditch challenge, it just gets it away by John Egan, and they can't get hold of this ball, Sheffield United, and keep possession, because here's Charlie Taylor. It's not a great game for Burnley, I think he'd be the first to admit that, and Cork, who probably love a goal against his dad's old side. He's played against the Blades many times before, of course, former Southampton player.
Yeah, Burnley are coming into this. We've got to be careful. We don't concede here. Norwood giving the ball away stupidly, tried to take 4 people on. It was never going to happen. And then it left it open. And the space that the Blades midfielders had in the first half seems to have gone to Burnley in this half. And there's Norwood throwing himself on the ground. But Baldock manages to block that cross coming in. But yeah, we just need to take the sting out of this for 2 or 3 minutes, because a goal, dare I say, looks like it could be on its way.
And that would change it. It would change things so much. Burnley are going to bring on Jay Rodriguez. You're right about Norwood trying to take on a load of men when it was that busiest part of the pitch. It was a crazy decision, and we haven't regained possession since that moment. We're approaching the 70th minute. It's Sheffield United 1, Burnley 0, done on the ball. For some reason, Burnley, whenever they get into a position of attack, they seem to go backwards. I feel like they've got to be, I mean, I don't care. I want them to keep doing that. They've got to be braver, and then they... It's a foul by Jemison there. I think that was clear.
Yeah.
He doesn't agree though.
He doesn't.
Kevin Friend is adamant. I think Brewster. You asked me if we bring him on. Obviously, I'd love him in his final game. I know he hasn't been the signing we all expected when he made that debut against Fulham at Bramall Lane. I think to get his first goal in the last game would be wonderful. McNeil off, Jay Rodriguez on. I'm really surprised at that, Adam. I think Dwight McNeil has been one of their players that's looked more likely than any other to open us up.
He has, but they're going 3 up top now by the looks of it, and they're really going to take the game and try and take advantage in the last 20 minutes, which is a chance for the Blades to take advantage of that. Because
and speaking of
information again.
Opening up, Chris Basham's wound is being re-seen to. We feared that he might be suffering some head repercussions from that cut, and he is. I mean, personally, do you carry on with a player who is clearly nursing a head injury?
Let's get the old head. Yeah, let's get Phil on the old head for the last.
I'm not
last
against
20
that.
minutes.
I mean, let's say people might go, "Oh, you leave your best players on the pitch," and Jags isn't the Jags of old, but we've got nothing to play for, and I don't think Jags would be the reason we would end up not winning this game. You know, he's a steady and reliable defender, and we've got to remember just what a great player he has been, what a great servant, and he deserves it as well. It's his final appearance. Yeah. I think he's going to retire after this. Yeah,
I think that could be it. There's Hecky's off down the tunnel for some reason.
You don't often see that.
You have to fetch his boots. I don't know. He's bringing himself on. Is this going to be a
probably
shot?
Not? Probably not, the former Sheffield Wednesday player. Here's a quick question for you. Adam, how many caps for England, Phil Jagielka?
Oh, I will go 42.
Way off. It is 40 on the nose.
40? Oh, it wasn't bad effort off the cuff.
Way off. So why's Hecky gone down the tunnel, do you reckon?
It might be going to fetch a new Basham for bandage, a new bandage for Basham. Yeah. Oh, he might have just had a call. He might have just had a call saying, "Thanks, you're off."
Yeah, well, Joel's made that point. New manager walks in, and that's how they're telling the fans, "Bye, Hecky," and then the new one runs out. I love that. I'd love to see that. Do you have any opinion on who you'd like to be the new manager?
I don't. I really don't. I don't think it should be Heckingbottom, and I've made that quite clear. But whoever comes in, it's going to be a fresh start. Is it going to be a change in formation? Is it going to be... I just like someone who can get the club up and going. I have a sneaky feeling we could be heading for our first ever non-British manager. But, people have got track records, but I don't know. It'd be unusual for us not to have a Blade in charge.
Yeah, we often do, don't we? Mickey Adams, Neil Warnock, Chris Wilder, Steve Thompson, the list goes on.
But if it is Jokanovic, then we shall see. Eddie Howe, I've said I would like, but I don't think that's going to happen. I wouldn't be against John Terry. That may not be popular with a lot
Why?
of fans.
What has John Terry proven?
I just think he hasn't proven anything. But I think that the way that he played, he wears heart on sleeve. He's keen, committed. He's got contacts in the game, which could get us.
So did Brian Robson.
In. He did, but that didn't work. But
he was a good player as well, who wore his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah, he was. But look, Robson didn't work. Whoever we get, it may not work. I said before, Dino and Jags is his number 2. But that's not going to happen. But I would love to see Brian Dean in charge. Somebody who the fans would give time. Because the one thing we don't want is 4 or 5 defeats in the early part, say the first 6 or 7 games next season. And
Bala and Ishmael, I mean, I don't know if you watched Barnsley's performances in the playoffs, but I do not want to watch that football at Bramall Lane.
No, if they don't go up, then Frank at Brentford, if they don't go up. I like his style of football. Yeah,
I would agree with that. I'm going to throw you under the bus again, Adam. Did you watch the video that Nick and I did, Blessing versus Jukanovic?
I did.
Oh, good, because that's a look at both of the 2 most likely options. Yeah. The positives, the negatives, the style they play, and their history, of course, as managers. If you haven't watched that yet, save it to your watch later, because it's going to be one of those 2.
You both sound very confident there.
Well, I am. I could tell you off air. I might tell you how confident I am. We are on 74-15.
There you go.
I can tell you exactly which one it's going to be.
If you've got a spare £10, then £5 on each to be the new Sheffield United manager. Put the profits. As a super subscriber or whatever you call them.
Yeah, super subscriber. That's what I call it. It's called Super Chat. If you want to be part of that Super Chat, do get involved. We'd absolutely love that. You know what? Brian Dean is. I put that on Twitter as well, Adam. I would love Brian Dean because I heard the interview he did with the club, and he speaks so well, and he properly gets it. I love this comment from Nick. Brian Robson wore his heart on his sleeve and his whiskey in his belly. So I think Nick agrees with me that Brian Robson, who unlike John Terry, Adam, already had promotion from the Championship to the Premier League on his CV, was a disastrous appointment. And in the similar vein, we'd just gone down, so we need this next appointment to be right. We'd just gone down when we appointed Brian, and it was the wrong one at the wrong time.
Yep.
Oh, that's a terrible ball across the face. On 75-15, Blades 1, Burnley 0. The Blades not playing well. Second half, certainly not as well as the first half. And I feel so sorry today for Daniel Jefferson. He's been feeding off scraps, and he's just had all the 50-50s that haven't landed for him. Nothing has worked that he's tried apart from one moment of skill where he laid the ball off to Fleck, who didn't shoot, and we missed an opportunity.
And Ender's been terrible again. That's another terrible delivery from Ender.
That one was. Overall, his defending's been pretty good because they've tried to attack, certainly this half, much more with Gudmundsson. In the first half, we hardly saw anything down our left-hand side. And Ender's done all right. I don't like to pile on Ender too much.
No, he's been disappointing. He's been a shadow of the Ender Stevens of last year.
Yeah, last season he was my player of the season up until the break. You know, that long hiatus of football that we had. He was just superb. Him and Fleck were kind of my top 2 performers. Yeah. Both of them came back looking different.
What do you think for next season then? Reece Norrington-Davis? Regan Slater? Is Regan Slater going to come into the fold for next season?
He'll come back.
I've interested in him.
Yeah, he's played really well for Hull. Congratulations to Hull as well. And the Tigers, rah, 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 on their promotion. But no, for me, it's not the end of Ender. I think we start with Ender and then we see if Norrington Davis has got what it takes. By the way, corner comes in for Burnley on 76-41. It's a punch from Ramos because who else but Tarkovsky was blocking his path, and it's going to fall to Vidra. They can get a shot away on the edge, but Didsey makes that too difficult to achieve, and it's back out on this right-hand side, and then it takes a block. Burnley are appealing for hands. Even if it was hands, it would have been ball to hand. Ball crossed in, far post. Is it going to be kept alive? Yes, it is. This is danger. Surely a goal here. Anyone gets a foot on that. How did Burnley not score?
Bodies. Plenty of bodies back, and maybe too many bodies.
I think that was actually a miss-hit. I think the Burnley defender who hit that got it with his left and shanked it. I think if we see that again, That was a gilt-edged chance, and wow, should have been 1-1. They have had so many opportunities in the second half to get that ball in the box. They haven't always utilised them, but they've had chances. Stuart Lawson, you're my favourite. Every little counts. £2 towards our running costs. We need to make roughly £25 each stream to break even. So if you want to help us towards that, it would be absolutely brilliant. We've seen this again. It's not a penalty, Adam, is it? That block
No,
by
it's not.
Ben?
Not at all. Not at all.
I don't even think it hits his hand. I think it hits his chest.
Arms up there, and it's just sort of hit his body. So no.
Jebbo looking like he's going to take the walk off. Daniel Jebison, number 38, going to be replaced, as you predicted, by Rhian Brewster. Adam, your thoughts on Daniel Jebison's 78 minutes?
Tried hard, put a lot of effort in. Not quite come off for him today. Heavy touch on too many occasions, but cannot fault the lad's commitment. And I will say again, one for the future. As is this man coming on here. Now, when we signed Rhian Brewster, I remember doing a video for the Sheffield United way, and it was
the Sheffield United way.
Yeah, sorry. If it was it was a case of if I remember saying if Brewster doesn't score in his first 3, 4, maybe 5 games,
yeah, don't get on his back. Yeah.
Not to get on his back. So here he is in game 28.
Well, we don't know.
Well, the first game in front of fans.
Tell us in the comments. Absolutely. Tell us in the comments. What kind of reception did Rhian Brewster get when he came on? We can't hear it. So let us know. Did he get the boo boys? I hope not. Did he get a round of applause? Because I think if he gets a round of applause, he could go, do you know what? These fans are really good. I've been absolutely rubbish and they're still backing me.
I think he would have, the round of applause for Jebbo was clear. So I think it would have been, oh, yes, there's a round of applause for Jebbo. It will have continued as Rhian Brewster came on the pitch. And therefore, I don't think there would have been any boos, but Brewster would have had a perhaps warm reception.
Applause by default, my favourite kind.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
I like it, Adam. We're on 79-18. It is still 1-0 to the Blades. Adam, your thoughts on this second half?
It's been mainly Burnley, hasn't it? Maybe just had 1 or 2 chances to try and kill the game, but we haven't been, as all season, not created anywhere near enough chances, not being clinical when we've had the chance.
Yep. Adam, we've got LXKY 2.0 saying, I'm watching this and not the game, so I don't know. Could be argued. There was no point typing that. Imagine Brewster scoring today after being in the banter squad. I tell you what, that would be incredible. Nick put him in his ridiculous starting 11 in the match preview. If you haven't watched the match preview yet, it doesn't matter. You can watch it afterwards. Trust me, it's timeless. There's nothing to do with this game. Oh, that's great play from Rhian Brewster. Definitely not a foul. And Kevin Friend quite rightly allows play to go on. We're in the 81st minute. And can Ollie Norwood take that opportunity to get the ball forward? No, he can't. He goes backwards. It's a bit frustrating. To Chris Basham, does brilliantly to get that ball across. Oh, it's a lovely bit of delivery. It's going to drop here on this left-hand side. Yes, get us on the Patak here, Blades. Ball across the the face, and it was a case of Tarkovsky getting a foot in, but the Blades big time on the Patak, and that could have been 2-0. We haven't deserved it, but boy, will we take it because we haven't deserved it all season. Ender Stevens on this left-hand side easily brushes past his man, puts it across, looking for Brewster, and that'll be blocked for a corner. Done again.
Just put the game to bed, Blades. Come on, get a second, put it to bed.
When was the last time we put a game to bed? I mean, we are always, even when we win, on tenterhooks right up until the 95th minute.
That is true. That is
Last time was probably Burnley last season.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea. 3-0 up, though. It was lovely last season before half-time against Burnley. That does not happen often.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Corner was dreadful. Might as well have just had a cat take that corner. 81-22, Sheffield United 1, Burnley 0. Aaron Ramsdale with the worst kick of the season, which he saves for the fans. Just clears that one into touch. I'll tell you what, he's probably auditioning as an NFL kicker with that. That was awful. Bit like Dean, it was a bit like Dean Henderson, not great with his feet, Hendo. I think Ramos is much better with his feet. Better than so many keepers we've had before, Adam. Who was the best keeper with their feet prior to Ramos? It's not a long list, is it?
No. Mark Howard?
Yeah, probably, because, of course, Alan Kelly, Simon Tracy, neither of those two were renowned for their feet work. And we speculated in the match preview, Nick and I, I'll have to tell you this because no one watched the match preview, that Jags would be involved and he's going to be brought on for the industrious Ben Osborne. For me, one of our players of the season. Take a bow, Ben Osborne. You have been spectacular. spectacular.
On comes Jags. Never forget that performance at Manchester United this season. That will be his legacy in a Sheffield United shirt.
Jags scored his first goal for the Blades against Burnley back in a match that he would have played against Gaza at Bramall Lane. It was a 3-0 win for the Blades just after the Battle of Bramall Lane.
He scored 2, didn't he?
He did score 2. Good memory, yeah, in that 3-0 victory. I can't remember who scored the other.
No, I can't offhand.
No. if you can, pop it in the comments. But Jags making his debut in the year 2000, and here we are, 21 years on.
Is that the only time Phil Jagielka's ever scored 2 in a game?
I want to say yes. I think it is. Yeah, he's the man. He's an absolute legend. That's a ball over the top, and what a wonderful header from John Egan to intercept what would have been a crucial ball over the top. Burnley, they're playing that kind of Wimbledon-style football at times. They're mixing it up, though. They're going to cross another looped ball in, and again, it's just too high for Mateo Vidra, and it will roll out for a throw-in to the mighty Red and White Wizards. This is going to be a case, Adam, isn't it, of just seeing out a 1-0. You said as soon as this game kicked off, it's going to be 1-0.
Absolutely.
You didn't say which way, but you did say.
I said you got 1-0 written all over it. End the season in style.
Do you remember Jags' debut, which team it was against?
Ooh. Now you're testing me. No.
Pop in the comments if you remember Phil Jagielka's debut. Adam, I will give you a clue in a moment once this ball is cleared. More head tennis. Well done, Rhian Brewster. Jumps superbly, wins that, and finds his strike partner, Didsey, already trying to make it stick, but it's going to be cleared for a throw-in exactly on halfway. Who did Phil Jagielka make his debut against in the year 2000? It was the final game of the season at Bramall Lane. Do you want a clue?
Yeah, go on.
Adam Burley scored.
Adam Burley. Christ.
Adam speculating that Adam Burley is our Lord and Saviour. As yet, that's for others to say.
Was it someone like Grimsby or something like that?
Crucially not. So Dale Shaw says George Santos scored the other goal in that 3-0 against Burnley when Jags got his 2. Thank you very much for that. Now, ball over the top again. Oh, Ramos comes out, thinks about it, and then drops back, and that needed a clearance, and it got one. We're on the 85th minute, and Burnley really upping the ante here. They're throwing everything at it. They've got 3 up top, and the Blades have countered with Jags at the back.
So I would say, I'm just wondering, and a thought coming to mind, I know I said George Santos there, but I had a sneaky feeling it might have been Lauren De Jaffo.
Well, I'm only guessing that that's what.
I mean, I'm
Dale was on about. Yeah. He didn't actually. He just literally wrote George Santos. I mean, he could just be saying George Santos because why not?
Did Jags make his debut against George Santos? That would have been a story.
No, but Brandon Walker is correct. Jags made his debut at home against Swindon Town. Here's Brewster on the edge of the area. It goes for a shot, and it's saved by Norris. He tried to do a Didsey. Oh, how he needed that, and how he'd have loved it. And the ball headed back, superb defending. That's a round of applause from me if I wasn't holding a microphone, from Captain John Egan. What about that from Rhian Brewster, Adam?
Yeah, if anybody needs a goal, it should have Brewster, isn't it? But he's tried hard, but yeah, he just didn't open his body enough, and it's a comfortable save.
Well, as we saw from the final game of the season against Swindon in 2000 when Adam Burley scored, it doesn't necessarily mean you kick on in your career.
No. That is true.
There's Hecky.
That's very true.
Scratch of the head. He's not wearing the lovely hoodie today, which is something I reference far too often on this channel. It's just because I wanted someone to buy me one. And this game it's petered out, hasn't it, in terms of effort and energy. Now, what's this? Our first game back in the Premier League was against a team beginning with B, Bournemouth. And last game in the Premier League was against a team beginning with B, Burnley. Adam, that's the kind of stat you normally bring up to our attention.
Yeah, good stat.
It is. I like that one a lot. And here's a chance for Burnley. Will they nick a 1-1, which would be a tremendous shame? It'd be nice to end the season on a high. It's been a season of lows, and Jackie Longthrow is going to usher that one out. And we're on 86.54, 1-0 to the Blades. You can listen to our videos on your journey to work safely and legally. Simply use Bluetooth audio in the media option. Press play on the video before you set off. Place your phone somewhere you can't be distracted and you can't see it. And you can listen through your stereo. You can also get our videos as podcasts. Download them with YouTube and convert on MP3. To do that, Google 4K video downloader. 4K video downloader. It's also free.
I don't know the scores, but that looks cruel for Leicester. I've just seen the table flash up, and they're now fifth again.
Yeah, you've got to be cruel to be kind. And Leicester, of course, winning the cup final, but would they rather have had Champions League football? Again, it looks like they might miss out, and Brendan Rodgers will not be happy with that. Brewster gets a whack right in the face from Dunn when he did brilliantly. Brewster's like a man possessed. He's come into this game well up for impressing the fans. Maybe he's just that kind of player.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so.
And Goodmanson is going to be replaced by Ashley Barnes, who's been in a bit of legal trouble, actually, off the field. We won't get into that, but he's been brought on here for the final throws of this game. I think Adam might be right. I got those players mixed up, says Dale. Adam, you really do know your stuff. Lauren De Jaffo, we're thinking now, scored that other goal in that game, but we're really rolling back the years here as that's a ball delivered in to Didsey. Tries to get a looped header over Norris's goal, but actually it's going to go out and be found by a fan in the Kop. What do you think the fans will have made of this one, Adam?
I think frustration, because it's shown what Sheffield United can do and pull together as a team, and maybe we're holding on 1-0 because the fans have got behind them, and it's shown what perhaps could have been.
I think you're right. That's a way of looking at it. Ball played through, chance to get in behind, and it's going to be just swept up by Jackie Long. Throw does really well. He's come back into the team looking so much more composed and confident than he was before. Maybe he had a little injury that was really bothering him that we didn't know about. You know, Keane Bryan came in and we thought, oh, this is as good as it's going to get. Jackie's looked better.
Just hang on. Who came in? You mean ho ho ho?
Keane Bryan. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I shouldn't forget it. To do it properly. We've got a little nick there that's going to roll out by Dunn off Brewster's first pass. It's going to be a corner to the Blades. We're into the 90th minute. I would love a second here, and I would love a goal for Rhian Brewster to bully him, to buoy him, and to just give him that confidence boost before we go into the close season. Otherwise, he's going to be ruining a wasted season.
And be our only win by a 2-goal margin this season.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Yeah, when you think of the 6 wins, they've been just by the odd goal. I mean, there's of course amazing that we came back against West Brom. The fact that we managed to concede against Manchester United and still win. 4 minutes added on this final day in the Premier League. Didsey going to try and get another corner out of that. I don't think we should be playing for time in the corner flag region, Adam.
No, I don't think we should.
Not the Blades.
Might be a little song coming from the Kop that we can't hear. If Brewster scores, we're on the pitch. If Brewster scores.
By the way they're playing, it's playing football the Norwich way. we are keeping it in the corner. That, for me, it's the wrong tactic. I know we win goals, so we win games by 1 goal, but that's not the way to go for us. And it's a foul by Norwood. I personally didn't think there was a foul there. I thought he got the ball. And Norris will take that. That used up all of 38 seconds, Blade, so completely the wrong decision, because if Burnley score now, we'll have to do it all over again. Jack Cork going to take it down on his knee in the centre circle. 90-49 if you want to try and keep up with us. Jack Cork going to play it back to, in my opinion, Burnley's best player, Tarkowski, who floats it long. He's done that all day, and it just goes over the head of Chris Wood, who will be fuming with that. That was a decent chance if he jumped, but he lets it go out, and that just eats up another 20 seconds.
2 minutes away, counting it down. The season's nearly over. It's nearly finished.
Can't wait.
Let's all have a party.
You never want to think back on this season. 12 attempts for the Blades, 10 attempts for Burnley, both sides with 3 on target. The blood pouring down from Chris Basham's cranium. I've got questions about whether he should still be playing. Of course, if you are going to sub Jags on, it could easily have been Bash that went off just to give him a break and get that cut properly seen to. But he's a tough old nut.
It is, but a lot of focus on the cameras on Phil Jagielka. Then, is there something being said that we don't know about? Because that seems odd for it to zoom in on Jags for a good 20 seconds when he didn't have the ball.
Rhian Brewster did well to win that ball back, but then couldn't quite keep hold. And maybe Jags is going to call it quits at the end. If he doesn't, I'd be amazed if we keep him on another year, because he's on a big old chunk of change. I guess he could move into coaching, but we've already got coaches in positions. Do you get rid of one so that Jags can just be paid? We don't owe him a living.
No, true. It's a good head to have around the club, but at the right wage level.
At the right wage level. Oh, that's a great ball forward. Didsey with a chance to make it 2. Oh, it's just gone wide. Didsey with an opportunity to absolutely end the season on a huge high, and of course, already top goal scorer. But getting another would have been lovely. It's a lovely ball forward as well, and just prods it past Norris, but just gets a little too much on it. It sat up for him perfectly.
What about saluting that fan in the stands? The Sheffield United mask and flat cap combo. I mean, that is just Sheffield United, isn't it?
All that's left is the eyes. It's all in the eyes, Chico. We're at Sheffield United 1, Burnley 0. There is JT Hammer alongside Heckingbum. So children, I guess, don't have to wear masks, and men have to wear them, but only with their noses exposed. It's all very different, isn't it? It's a different world. What a great chance. Absolutely right. Didsey possibly will look back on that one at the end of the game. An easier chance than the goal he scored.
Yes.
Burnley. Can they make it 1-0? It's cleared off the line. Wonderful Jackie long throw. That one away. It looked like it was rolling in after it had been lost by Rammers, and Chris Wood managing to get a foot on that. A crucial toe from Jackie long throw. Could have been offside anyway. What was Rammers doing, Adam?
Trying to throw his clean sheet away by the looks of it.
I tell you, that was a real chance. We're into the 95th minute, and they've thrown Norris up. Everyone's up. Is it going to be an Allison-like moment from Norris? No. Kevin Friend will look at his watch and blow for full time. The Blades get a win. We've avoided some horrible records that could have happened. Things like most defeats in a season, that's not going to happen. We're level with the worst 3 clubs in the Premier League history. Most home defeats in a season. Sunderland, you can keep that record. Fewest goals scored. We're level with Derby on 20. We don't have that unenviable record, and we didn't lose the most games, which is really the one that I was most worried about.
2 draws. Equal record with Manchester City and Spurs as well.
2 draws. Absolutely incredible to think in the entire season we just couldn't really get over the line in so many games that should have been turned into draws. You think of West Brom away from home. You think of Burnley away from home. Games that should really have played out as draws. And
a clean sheet for that man, Aaron Ramsdale. Could not be happier for him. I can say it now, it's full time. I said it was going to be 1-0.
Mm-hmm.
I said Ramsdale was going to keep a clean sheet in front of the fans. And I'm also saying we're going to win the championship title next season.
Oh, I love it. Why not? You're on a roll. Runner 3. Rammers celebrating winning Young Player of the Season and Player of the Season with a clean sheet in his final game against Burnley. I guess the big question will be for a lot of these players, Adam, who's still around next season? Will some clubs come sniffing? I don't fear that we'll lose the likes of Didsey, but I do fear we could lose the likes of Egan, maybe even that man, Aaron Ramsdale, we've just been talking about.
I don't think we'll lose Ramsdale unless Pope has a serious injury because Burnley linked. I think we need to get the money in and we need to recoup the 20 million for him. Sander Berger's probably going to be heading for bigger and better things, and I wish him luck. No animosity if he does go to further his career because he's clearly a Premier League player. I would be delighted if he stayed with us and to give it 1 season to see where it goes. And the managerial appointment could influence that. John Egan, has he done enough to prove to be a full-time Premier League player for the price that we'd want for him? And what would be that price?
It's a good question. We will cover all of this and a great deal more in our end-of-season fans forum. Let's bring Nick back into the fold. Nick, a win.
We won a game, another game. What makes me laugh is that Heckingbottom won 3 games. Chris Wilder only won 4 games. So it's a bit of a crazy stat that I need to say that Hecky's already had. How many games, Adam? I'm looking to you.
12? Do you want to say 12?
I don't think that's too bad. To say that we were rock bottom with no confidence whatsoever to win 3 games, it's not too bad.
Thank you very much to Mr. Palmer, £5. Philippe Palmer, thank you to Hal, Nick, and all your guests for keeping us Blades afloat this season with your wit. That's you, Nick. Insightful knowledge, that's you, Adam. And entertainment, that's Robert. It's been great. I do appreciate that. That's really, really kind of you. If you'd like to get involved in the super chat, help us with our running costs for the channel, which are constantly keep going up and up and up. It would be much appreciated. We've also got Streamlabs as well, haven't we, Nick? If people would like to donate that way, I like to put you on the spot.
Yeah, we do, mate. I will find the link as always, but you can donate to Streamlabs because we get a lot higher proportion of the donations than we do through YouTube. So I will find the link as always, and I will pop it in the chat right now.
We will do watch-alongs as well for the Euros, just to let you know before you all disappear.
And 11 games for Heckingbottom, so 3 wins in 11.
Wow, it's not actually that bad, is it?
It's not. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all.
Robert, we were having a conversation, Adam and I. Adam was talking absolute nonsense, but we were talking about the new manager. Have you got a favourite, someone you'd like to see come in?
So actually, referencing the video that you and Nick made, I was really pulling for Blesson. I felt like his tactical style and kind of that background, a little fresher face, kind of some newer ideas, might have been what we needed. Obviously, I think the work permit issues that have kind of held him up, prevented him from being the favorite by the odds makers right now. But I think I'd be okay with Jokanovic. He's got the track record. He's got the pedigree of getting promotions. And if that's what the board wants to go for, push right back for promotion, thinking that maybe he can be a long-term solution. I just don't know if that's going to be the best long-term decision or not. But honestly, I'm going to back whoever's chosen. Would just like to hear news sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think we all echo that. It feels like the longest time we've had to wait for a new manager announcement. But Paul Heckingbottom, well done. 3 wins and 11. That is not an easy feat in the Premier League. Donate to the channel through Streamlabs. You will see the link has been placed on Facebook, on the YouTube, and on the Twitter. We would really appreciate that, because that way YouTube don't take, I think it's 85% of the money that you donate. 90%, Nick, 95, something like that.
Sorry, I'll mute myself. It's 97% of
97.
Yeah, we only get 3%.
3%.
Bang out of order.
It is. So if you use Streamlabs, almost all of that can be used towards our channel running costs. And that, of course, is coal in the furnace fire for the Sheffield United Way furnace, which needs to constantly be fueled. There's also the help me out, Nick. I can't think of everything. There's
we need to pay for guests, because Adam and Robert don't come in here for free.
Oh, we don't. That's news.
Bonus.
Oh, damn it! What have I done to myself here?
Robert, let's talk about Ramsdale ending on a clean sheet on the same day that he finds out he's Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year. You must be delighted for him. I don't know what position you used to play, Robert, when you were a soccer player, a goalkeeper?
I remember, I have distinct memories of playing goalkeeper when I was like 4, and I saw a ball rolling towards me and didn't do anything with it, so I stopped playing goalkeeper. But super, super pleased for Ramsdale. Obviously, you can get the news of winning Player of the Year and then let that go to your head and have a bad performance, but he didn't. He kept solid at the back, had a lot of really solid saves first half and second half. Very pleased for him. He went the longest time this season without the clean sheet. So for him to get a couple here down the stretch has been really good.
Can I just say, Nick and I, we should probably pat ourselves on the back, Nick, because you and I backed Rammers right from the start through his tricky time. We took a bit of flack during that time he was having a bad spell, and we backed him, and we kept saying this is a pro Rammers channel.
Yeah, we definitely said it was a pro Rammers channel. I'm not sure I backed him all the way, but yeah, he's doing very. You didn't hear what I just said, then, did you?
I backed him. How's about that? All the way through.
Nah, he's a young keeper, isn't he? Goalkeepers don't come into the prime until kind of late 20s anyway, maybe early 30s. So it's one of them where you're like, he's a good goalkeeper, but you're having a really tough time. And it's like, I hope I thought he was going to have a poor season, and then he was going to start up like really good next season when we're in a lower division. Less shots coming at him, more confident. I thought that was going to happen, but fair play to him. He's shown that he's good enough for the Premier League.
Yeah, he has. Now, Adam, what do you think about a lot of people saying you end on a win and it gives you momentum going into next season? Do you put any stock into that?
A little bit. I think it's just nice to finish on a win for the fans more than anything else. The few that were back in Bramall Lane, like I said on the feed, I thought it was very frustrating for the fans to see what could have been, and it shows what could have been had we had even a 25% capacity throughout the season. I think that would have been worth 10 points to us. I'm not saying we'd have stayed up, but we'd have been in with a shout. But it's nice, always nice that we won our last game. And I will now be having a look to see how many relegated teams won on the final day. That's the sort of stat, and that's the way that I roll. So I'll be back with that one at some point through the summer.
Let us know in the comments how the fans behaved at the end with that lap of honour, because I know Lunny would have been involved in that. I think it was the right call from Hecky to not bring Lundstrom on. Also, let us know if they've mentioned anything about Phil Jagielka's retirement. Nick, did you hear anything along those lines?
No, I rushed straight up here, to be perfectly honest. I want to talk about Brewster, though, because Brewster definitely put more of a shift in today. He got stuck in. It was a live wire. It's almost like Jefferson hitting a little bit, well, not hitting full, but Jefferson coming in and doing well has kind of ignited that fire because he's not done that at all for me this season. He's not been chasing around, harrying defenders and trying to nick the ball back off them. It's weird. It's weird. It's almost like Jebo pushed him into that.
I agree with that, Nick. Thanks, Lee. Lee has just bought one of the Sheffield United Way mugs. We sell merch on the YouTube channel. If you'd like to check it down below, please do. Also hit like. We'd ideally like to hit 1,000 likes for this. It really helps the algorithm. Beat the robot. Don't lose to a robot. You're better than a robot.
This is their last chance to donate, Hal, isn't it?
Last chance, last watch along. We've done these, of course, during the time that the coronavirus has hit and fans haven't been able to go to the stadium. So if you've hopefully enjoyed these, do take a moment to share that with us. You can drop us a message in our DMs. You can send an email as well. All of that information is on our social media. So follow us on social media by following at Sheff United Way. End of the season stats, you can see that Bobby in the background has put at the bottom, played 38, won 7, drawn 2, lost 29, goals for 20, goals against 63, points 23. Top scorer, Didsey, with 9, should really have been 10 goals. Robert, what did you make of that chance right at the end?
Yeah, definitely the second best chance of the day. Like I said, he's had a few of those throughout the season where just go right over the bar, or this one I think might have went just right of the goal. But yeah, he definitely has a feel for that long shot, likes to take them, and he clearly scores them. So I don't mind that at all.
Here we go. Here's a stat for you. David McGoldrick scored 45% of Sheffield United's goals this season, which is the highest percentage by any one player of total team goals in a season.
Where was he last season? We'd have been in Europe. Pull your finger out, did he? Left it a season too late, honestly.
I think it's more about where were all the midfield this season? That's what I want to know.
Where are you?
Lundstrom.
Where are you? Let's be having you.
No, it's been a horrendous season for scoring goals for everyone other than Didsey. And that stat from Adam just proves how much Didsey's kind of meant to us this season. Imagine if we didn't have Didsey. Imagine that had been Ollie McBurney up front all season.
Ollie McBurney, pal. Yeah, we won't talk about that. But
Mo Salah and Harry Kane have both scored more goals individually in the Premier League this season than Sheffield United.
Don't tell us those kind of stats, Adam, or you can just sod off.
It's amazing. It's just an incredible stat, really.
It's an awful stat. I think Basham should have scored. That chance where he just dropped his shoulder. That would have really killed the game off because Burnley were not in the contest first half. And then Sean Dyche, as Adam speculated, would have given them the Dyche rollicking that I'm sure they've heard many a time. Hey, I were out there eating gravel.
Oh no, not this again.
Well, you fancy Dan football.
Eating gravel.
You're all right there, Nick. You've done one impression of the whole season and it's nearly killed you.
I know. I probably should have muted myself, but
You should have muted yourself.
I didn't think that quick ahead.
We're going to go soon. Nick is going to do a match reaction. One thing I really want to remind you about, because it's a big one and we've put a lot of work in, and when I say we, I mean one of us, to the end of season fans forum on the 1st of June, 7 p.m. live. Do mark it on your calendar because there's going to be a huge amount of important and impressive guests joining us for that one. But we want, most importantly, you to have your say. It'll be just like this. You can type your comments in. Bobby in the background will be there, bringing them on screen, and Nick and I will try with our terrible eyesight to read them.
I've got great eyesight now. I've got my eyes in today.
He's got the contacts in.
I've got the
Are we going to do the quiz as well, boys? Are we going to get a Sheffield United way quiz in?
We need to.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll get a Sheffield United way quiz in.
Don't worry about that. We'll sort that out, Adam. It's so much easier. When we were talking about this at first, we tried to do it using a different bit of software, and it was an absolute nightmare. But this will be so much easier. So we'll get that in at some point, Adam.
Now, before we all go, let's just quickly highlight some positives. What are we looking forward to? We'll go around the room. We'll start with Nick. We'll finish with Robert. What are we looking forward to next season, Nick?
Do I have to only say one?
Yeah, you do one. We'll come back around. We'll go around twice.
Being able to have a season ticket and go to every game.
Adam.
Winning matches.
Okay, so doing what we call in America a snake draft. Robert, you get
that. Yeah, I definitely would say, getting some stability with a manager, whoever it is, that's going to be good next year.
I will say playing Barnsley, but not Sheffield Wednesday, is the kind of derby that I want. I didn't enjoy playing Leeds this season because we knew we weren't really competing when it came to those games. But playing Barnsley, that's a good one, and I'll really look forward to that one. But Burnley will be well up for that. Nick, your next one.
I can't believe we've gone through 4 people and no one said no VAR. So that's what I'm going for.
That's my next one. Took the words right out of my mouth. Smiling fans on Fans React is what I'm looking forward to.
That ties in with your last one, though, Adam. That's a bit of a cheat, that one.
Oh. All right, then.
That's what you get.
Miserable fans on Fans React when we get tonked 4-0 away at Lincoln, if you want to be like that, then.
That's not happening, Adam. That's just not happening. Don't do that.
All right, Rhian Brewster scoring. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Come on. That's a bit of a lie there, isn't it? Let's go on, Robert.
Man, Adam took both of mine. I was going to be like, more positive player ratings. I got mine to fill out for today, so catch that video tomorrow. But no, the other one, just seeing some of these young lads. The under-23s team has a lot of talent, and I think we can definitely see a lot more of them next season in the championship.
I will pick 3:00 kickoff times. I hate random kickoff times being moved for TV on silly days. You got your 3:00 your Saturday, your 7:45 on a Tuesday. You know where your bread's buttered. Robert, I've got no idea what time that is for you, but I would imagine 7:45 on a Tuesday is going to be kind of middle of the day for you.
Yeah, they're usually mid-afternoon.
Great, and that'll be on a weekday, so you can't watch them. Is that enough, or do you want to go around one more time?
I'd like to say Colin Murray, my best mate. Not really, but I just like him. And a bit of Dean Ashton. Is Dean Ashton still on Quest, Hal?
Yeah, he's still doing his bit,
Like a bit of Dean Ashton.
Like a bit of Dean, okay, yeah. I mean, Benjamin Bloom as well. You've also got him. If we're talking pundits, we'll keep that in one section. Adam, have you got any more?
Hopefully, and I say this, hopefully, is getting to meet you again, Hal, after many years that I've not seen you. Meeting Nick in the flesh for the first time, and Robert, it probably won't be meeting you in the flesh unless I get a 5-star holiday to America paid for by the Sheffield United way. No,
if you keep calling it the Sheffield United way, it's not going to happen.
If you call it the right thing, it might happen.
Robert, have you got any more?
Actually, yeah. There's more league games in the championship than there are in the Premier League, so more football to watch. Always like that.
More money
games.
to earn as well, Hal.
Yeah, more money.
More donations.
I would say the fans are better. You've got those weird, obsessive teenage trolls with names like Firmino97 that comment on everything, saying elite level banter or banter club. And you've got those fans like saying, "Oh, give us a trial." So we don't get that in the Championship. You don't get people commenting, calling us Sheffield. I will not miss the fake fans. I am looking forward to proper fans again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're probably done with that. We're going to talk about how good has Jack Robinson been today as well.
If he hasn't, I don't know when his contract runs out. Adam, you probably know that. You've probably got his inside leg measurement knowing your kind of stats, But I would say that Jackie Longthrow, if he hasn't got a new contract, he now looks to me to be what I think is his level, Championship. I would definitely keep him after the performances he's put in the last 3 games.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Adam's just researching that.
I'm having a look now. I'm having a look now to see when he's
through your Rolodex of things that you know.
So I think it's the end of next season, but I'm just I was just seeking confirmation of that. But I've got a feeling it's the end of next season. That would be my gut feeling.
We only signed him last season, didn't we? So
yeah, but it could have been a 1 year rolling, or a see how you do kind of thing, pay as you play. That would be nice, because if that's the case, I think what Jackie's done there is he's come back in and said, I can show you I'm worthy of being kept around next season. And some players have done that, and I would argue some players haven't. And I'm still very worried about these performances from Ender Stevens, because I thought against Everton he's come back, this is Ender, and then against Newcastle he was poor, and as Adam pointed out today, he wasn't quite the Ender of old either.
I think you could put Fleck and Norwood into that bracket as well, because I think Fleck shows little bits of brilliance every now and then, but I don't know. Maybe it's just such a high level for him that he can't sustain it week on week. Like, to be fair, he did that last season. He sustained it for most of the season, Fleck. So hopefully he'll come back into his own next season along with Ollie Norwood, because I think Ollie Norwood still has got. He's still got that in him to take us to another level, because when he came in, he was unbelievable. But the good things about Ollie Norwood was his crossing ability, his free kicks, his dead balls, and his pings to the wings, and all of that is just gone. You don't lose in one season the ability to cross a ball, and he seems to have done that. It's just really odd.
Why has no one said pings to the wings before?
That's good.
It's good, Nick.
Didn't even mean to do it, I'm going to be honest.
Get it on some merch, mate.
I was about to say, it's in that chicken wing, that chicken theme that we had.
There's a combination there. By the way, final question, then we'll leave it here, lads. Steve York says, if we sell Rammers, nice one, Bobby, will Verips and League One Wes be enough? I've got to just jump in on this and say what Verips has done with FC Emmen suggests the boy can play.
Or goalkeep.
Adam, your thoughts?
Yeah, Verips has done very well while he's been out on loan. And League One Wes, no, he's not good enough, is he? But he's a body on the bench. Hopefully, he'll never ever be needed. But we've got to keep hold of him.
Wow.
We're gonna. But you hope he's not going to be needed.
Yeah, Wes, if you've had an awful season and now here's just a boot as well, just to get in.
No, but you'll
never be good enough.
Yeah, and we've got as Phil's just said in the comments there, Miss is a great young keeper as well. We've got some youth, but Ramsdale's not going to go. I'm pretty confident that Aaron Ramsdale will be in goal for Sheffield United next season, and Verips is his understudy, and that will be spot on.
Marcus Dewhurst as well, another young keeper that's apparently very, very good. Probably a misser with a name like that. He could never have been a striker, could he?
Good shout there. I think
Marcus Stewart's played down at Guiseley as well, just around the corner from where I work as well, and he's had some really good reviews for the time that he had at Guiseley. So another young keeper who's got a goal to his name.
Robert, I'm sure you were going to talk about how, of course, if you can do it at Guiseley, you're ready for the Championship.
Certainly. No, we definitely have options. I don't think we need to be relying on Wes, but obviously, if he can turn out and put in some work this offseason, show up preseason if needed, I think he's definitely has some of the physical attributes to be a good keeper. But yeah, I don't see Ramsdale going. We signed him for a lot. He's probably got a big, decent contract, and for someone else to swoop in and take him after one more season. There are probably teams who would like him, but I don't see us selling him. So,
well, there's a lot of questions coming in, Nick, that are, I think, questions for the end of season fans forum if we start getting into all these.
Okay, I think that's a good point because I was just going to bring one up and chat about it, but I think you're right. Can I just bring this one up because of McBoyney? That sounds like a New York accent or something like that.
Hey, McBoyney. Ollie McBoyney, pal.
Sorry, Bradley. Sorry, mate.
Nice one, guys. Yeah. Thank you all for joining us. Nick, it's been a pleasure. The watch-alongs all this season. Thank you for getting me involved.
No problem, mate. No problem. Thank you, Adam, for joining in today. Loved it.
And Robert, that decision you made to manage Sheffield United on Football Manager at 17, best decision you've made in your life.
Oh yeah, and lots more Football Manager for me to come. Speaking of those goalkeepers, Marcus Dewhurst, in one of my saves, he ended up being England's keeper. He brought us to a Champions League final. It was top. So I would love to see that in the real life too.
Yeah, he's great on mine as well. I've got to say him, but then again, so is Lise Mousset. So
okay, true.
All right, thank you each and every one of you. Nick, I'll let you do the official outro for the watch along.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you everyone for being here as always. It's emotional, Hal. I feel emotional right now. It's the last watch along because we might be struggling to do watch alongs. Do you want to quickly just explain that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of legal things around it. Also, Nick and I want to go to games. Adam, I know I reached out to you and said we'd love to do them next season. That was before I realised that when fans can go back, you're not allowed to actually cover games at 3:00 on a Saturday as watch along because you'd obviously be watching them from somewhere. It's illegal. So you can't do that. So it's difficult. So Robert could do it because he's in America, but then that also creates difficulties because Robert's got his own job and life. And also it needs one of us to be here to get it all kicked off and going. So we're going to try and go back to games. So it's up in the air at the moment. It's very, very difficult. We're going to see what we can do. I think games that are on telly that we don't go to, we will try and do them. I think that's fair, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll definitely do those ones, whoever it is. With it being on telly, obviously, if it's at home, we might want to go to it. If it's a big game that we might want to go to, but we'll figure something out. We'll definitely do the ones on telly. But yeah, it's up in the air at the moment. We're going to see what we can and can't do. We'll have a look into the T's and C's. I'll let Hal do that.
Yeah, we don't want to get in trouble. That'd be the worst thing. After all your donations, if we had to spend all that on a legal battle, that would be a right waste of time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's probably not worth doing that. Anyway, yeah, like I say, thank you very much, everyone, for being here. We're going to leave it there. We're going to do my match reaction in a second. It might be a lot easier, seeing as I've not had to do a watch along for 2.5 hours. But hopefully, yeah, you'll join us in kind of 5-10 minutes. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.